Hello, everybody out there across the Tourpreneur Facebook group, our LinkedIn group, our YouTube channel, and watching direct through StreamYard as well. A huge welcome to OTA and Reseller Day. This is a really exciting day for us because of a very wide range of companies who are coming to you today in order to tell you about what they offer, which is the service of selling and marketing your tours. It's as simple as that. And yet it's not. OTAs or online travel agencies and resellers and distribution. These are some of the most discussed topics in the Facebook group. And they are also some of the topics that get the most debate around the issues that come into play when you're dealing with very complex mechanisms in a very quickly evolving industry. With that, I am bringing up my Scottish experts, Chris Torres, Peter Syme. A huge welcome to you as we dive into this very complex but interesting topic. Hi, Pete. Hi, Chris.
Hey,
Hi,
Mitch.
Mitch.
All right. So just to give everybody a little bit of a lay of the land of what today looks like, first of all, I'm Mitch Bach, Peter Syme, Chris Torres. We are the three. We've been called wise men, headless horsemen, amigos. We go by a lot of names, but we are here today as part of Tourpreneur to help all of you out there in the experiences industry, in the world of tour operators, of guides, of anybody that's trying to sell experiences online. We're here today to kind of break down that world for you a little bit and help lend some clarification. And today, for the first hour, from right now until an hour from now, we are going to be welcoming a couple of special operator guests and a special reseller or OTA marketplace guest to offer their perspectives. But first, Chris, Peter, and I are going to really drill down and just get through some of the basics and some of our thoughts about this topic. First of all, Peter, why the heck is this talked about so much in our group and just in the world of tour operators to begin with?
So in the group, it's talked about a lot. In my weekly strategy sessions with TP Plus members, it comes up every single time, and there's massive spread of understanding levels of what a distribution strategy is. From some of our more experienced operators who have been around over a decade, they have very good distribution strategies. They work very hard at them. And from some of the newer members who have maybe been only going a few years, 5 years, they have very limited distribution setup or distribution strategies. So what is this? Every time we talk about distribution, people automatically default to its sales. Now, obviously, it is. If you're distributing experiences via resellers, you are selling. But I've always looked at the distribution strategies as a three-pronged part of thing. It's first for me was to de-risk the business. So by having more sales channels, I'm making my business de-risk because you're not overly exposed to one sales channel. The second prong would be resilience. The bigger and better your distribution strategy, we can spit it out, is the more resilient your business is. And why does your business need to be resilient? I shouldn't need to say that because we've just been through 2 horrendous years. Every operator should know why they need to have a resilient business. We're in tourism and travel, and it's a business that goes through peaks and troughs, and the troughs can be pretty low. So you need a resilient business. So distribution gives you, de-risk your business, makes your business more resilient, and then finally, it brings in sales. The bit everybody focuses on, it brings in sales. And as long as those sales are done at the right margin, then distribution is a fantastic way of growing your business.
So
let
me just pause you there to start with a very basic definition. What do we mean by distribution? This word gets bantered about, but what are you talking about when you use that word?
Yeah, to me, it's getting other people, other businesses to sell my experiences. So resellers is a name that's often used, but to me, it's simple. Other entities in the world are selling my experiences for me. I'm delivering the experiences, they're selling it. And obviously we go into who is the distributors, because that is huge, off the chart huge, and very, very different for different types of operators. But distribution is getting other people to sell your experiences for you.
I think on that front, you and I are old enough in our business of operating tours that we remember a day when reselling meant calling up a travel agent or doing door-to-door hustling where you visit hotels and get them to hold on to your rack card, a whole host of offline services. What's behind this? I mean, it's a pretty obvious answer, but why does everybody now just think of reselling as getting yourself listed on a website?
Yeah, that is because of the digital era and almost the demographics. And when we look at the operator base in Tourpreneur, the reason the older operators and the ones that have been around longer have a more balanced distribution system is because they did what we did, which we chapped on doors and opened up local distribution. And I still believe in this strategy. You should open up local distribution first and then build out from local into international distribution, because it is a learning process when you're building up your distribution. You've also got to remember that, speak to operators and they talk about direct sales versus distribution. There's very, very little sales actually direct. People think they're getting direct sales, but unless they've actually met someone in the street or someone's walked into their office, if they have a high street retail office or that, there's very little direct sales. Because if you've used Google to get sales, they may be coming to your website, but you're still using a platform to help distribute. You're using Facebook, you're still using a platform to help distribute any social media. So the reality is there is very, very little direct sales, pure direct, going on. There's obviously sales that give you all the margin that's coming in, but you've just got to keep that in mind. Within your direct sales, you've still got a distribution. So you've got a reseller's distribution strategy, and you also have a strategy, or you should have, for a distribution strategy within your direct sales channel. And a lot of your members don't. They just think of direct sales and distribution. Within your direct sales, you should be having a distribution strategy, depending on what your operator is and where you are. It could be education. It could be the military. It could be corporates. Corporates are brilliant. And it could be the tourists. So tourists should only form one part of your direct distribution strategy. So you're looking at vertical channels, both in your resellers who are aligned with you, but also within your direct sales, because all of these things come in at different margins. And some customers are cost more to acquire than other customers. Other customers are harder to reach. If you're focusing on international tourists from another country coming to you, they're quite hard to reach. So you're going to have to pay decent money via a reseller or an OTA to get to them, because they're expensive customers to reach. A customer in your destination, 100 meters up the road in a hotel or in a bar, isn't that expensive to reach if you know what you're doing.
I don't know. The cost of drinks when I'm out with you is definitely more than 20% of a walking tour.
I'm on dry January at the moment. See, it's all tea. It's all tea.
So am I. No wonder we're all so coherent. Chris Torres, Peter brought up the costs of doing business with these OTAs, and this makes me want to shift the conversation a little bit from sell tours to another function of this of sort of this array of opportunities, which is a marketing function. Can you talk to me a little bit about your perspective as a professional marketer in terms of what OTAs and what resellers are doing for you as an operator?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of operators tend to think, as Pete was mentioning, no, OTAs are the distribution channel. They're another way of getting sales that are not direct, as you would normally put it. But I just see OTAs as another marketing channel, very much like, you're doing Facebook advertising or Google ads or whatever. OTAs should not be dismissed entirely in terms of what you're trying to do. They should be performed as part of that strategy, because at the end of the day, you're going to reach a far greater audience on these platforms than you would ever do direct, etc., etc. So think of it as a paid advertising platform. It's just that you're not paying up front like you would do with Facebook or Google or something like that. You only pay when the booking happens. And one of the things I always sort of suggest to operators as well is, when you're looking at those platforms as a marketing channel, don't just add your tours and your products onto that one platform, whether that's TripAdvisor, for example, or Viator. Do it across multiple, whether it's many local OTAs or local distributors, as well as the big players in the market as well. Because you wouldn't, like, using an old analogy of printing 10,000 flyers or 20,000 flyers and just going to a local shop and dumping them all in there in the hope that you're going to get many customers from that one location. You have to spread your, basically raise brand awareness and spread your business around multiple locations, where, and that's the same as being online as well. So all the different channels where your customers are, not all OTAs will be suitable for each individual, each demographic that you're doing, but focus on the ones that you feel that you're going to get the customers on. That will get you the bigger reach and get more business that way. So have it as part of that marketing budget. So if you say you're spending 7 or 10% of your revenue on marketing, have that as part of that as well, and add your OTAs within that sort of mix as well. So that's what I would always recommend.
Yeah, I think it should probably be a rule moving forward within the group, within discussions, is you are not allowed to complain about a commission unless you know how much your marketing spend is on your customers, because
and
it's not.
Complain, yeah, I was going to say, if you do complain about your commission, then what tends to be the case is that you're maybe not charging enough. Your product should be more expensive.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, Peter. Commissions. It's something that I understand why people love to gripe about it. It's because it's a percentage of what you're doing the work for, and you're just handing it over to a website, and it feels like they're always asking for more. And maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I want to break that down into the terms of your tours or your business's pricing strategy, and also what's going on with everything's inflating, but what's going on with this sort of commission inflation that you see across the industry?
Right. So if you want to distribute, and I strongly recommend that you should be distributing, you should not just believe, and this is coming from a direct marketer who built my businesses direct, but I still had a distribution channel, which was well spread. You should be distributing. And if you take that strategy that you should be, and you are, you have to build it into your pricing model, because it is going to cost. And it's going to cost all different rates with different partners. It can be as little as zero with some partners on a local basis, and it can be 10%, and it can be all the way up to 35% or more. Now, I always look at it from putting my feet in someone else's shoes. Who is my partner? What can they do for me? And how much is it costing them to do that? So when we get operators whinging about Viator wanting 25% or 30%, they're not getting 25% or 30% most of the time, because they have a massive partner network of tens of thousands of partners that they're distributing your experience through. So the margin you're giving them is getting split between often 2 companies, sometimes 3 companies. So it's been sliced and diced all the way. So I know it's expensive. I know 25-30% of revenue. And when you change that, and you've heard me before about this, do not work it out as part of revenue. Work it out as part of your gross profit, because that will keep you exceedingly focused on how much you're spending on distribution. And if it's over 50%, which it will be for many of our members, you have to really focus on how you're setting up your channel, how you're getting your mix correctly. So it is a price of doing business. It is simply the price of doing business. And years ago, again, I'm on record years ago on videos at various events, saying the price of doing business with OTAs is 35%. And that was before, when they were only charging 15%, and everybody thought it was mad. For OTAs to do their job well, they need 35%. That's just the price of doing business. That may change with the way the world's going forward, but the cost for them to paid marketing, because they're spending the money they're getting on marketing, because they're in growth modes, they're spending all the money they get on marketing. None of them are posting big profits at the bottom of the day. They're respending it, building their businesses. That's the sort of money they need to perform the marketing that they're doing. Now, there's a conflict there, which I don't see the conflict as the commission level. It is what it is. It's what it is. You either build it into your business or you don't. The conflict is, are you marketing against yourself by using certain channels? That is the conflict. The commission to me is just a number you build it in. If you know what you're doing with your pricing, you build it in, you take care of it. But to me, the real conflict is making sure you're building the right distribution strategy with the right partners. And then through time, because this takes time, it takes years, making sure you manage it in a way that so much goes to this partner, so much goes to this partner, so much goes to this partner, rather than you being dictated by your distribution strategy. You should be dictating your distribution strategy.
When we look at a marketplace online, there's been an evolution. It didn't start with tours. In fact, tours and activities were probably one of the last things to be organized in this kind of digital marketplace way. It's because these are very complex products, right? We're not rental cars. We're not airlines or hotels that have been figured out. Big industries around that. We all use Kayak or Google Flights or whatever every single day. Now that we've shifted very much into a growth mentality for these OTAs and these resellers that are digital in our sector, tours and activities, attractions. I want to break down what this type of digital marketplace is providing and what you as an operator are getting in terms of value, and what you need to understand is your burden now when you're thinking about what you want to do to have your own direct channels as well. We talked about marketing, but it's I think these marketplaces are providing, and I know this as a customer, I think if we're all honest with ourselves, we know that as a customer, it's providing a lot more than just marketing for an operator. As a customer and as an operator, I think it's providing a trust factor. Am I wrong in that? Because I could go to 25 different direct websites and I need to be told very quickly from that website, from that operator, that I'm not going to lose my money with you. And that's a hard level to achieve.
That's exactly why they've grown so much over since the pandemic with a lot of OTAs, partly because of the trust factor in terms of getting a refund if things were to be cancelled for any reason. They've got that trust with that brand, whether that's a Viator brand, whether it's a Get Your Guide or a TripAdvisor or any of the other many OTAs out there. A lot of customers will always gravitate towards them because that's where they have the trust with, because these guys have done a good job in terms of trying to raise their brand awareness and build up that trust. Now, that is part of the reason why they've grown so successfully over the last couple of years, more so than 2019. So yeah,
it's more than just trust, and the trust is a factor. I don't rate it as high as maybe you two guys do, but it is a factor. Ease of booking is the big factor.
Yeah.
That was my next one, Peter.
They make it exceedingly easy to spend your money, on it. And then you've got the choice thing. Like, if I wake up in Paris tomorrow and I want to take a tour, and what I intended doing when I was thinking about the night before, and then I wake up the next morning, I look outside and it's raining, and instantly can change what I was going to do on the same platform, because there's lots of other things inside that I could do on there. So the range of experiences available versus jumping about direct websites makes it very attractive for that point of view.
But what you will find is some customers will still shop around. Some people are a bit smarter, so they'll go into an OTA, they'll have a look at certain products, and they'll maybe try and do a little search direct to see maybe if they can get a little bit cheaper or stuff. But usually they'll just gravitate back towards the OTA. And
that point, Chris, is something our members should pick up on, because I've had this thrown back at me quite. I don't want to be on the OTAs because I don't want to sell with them. And I'm like, well, even if you don't want to sell with them, and that's a judgment, and that's a judgment in everybody's business, I'd still have some marketing value out of them. And I'd put one product up there. If I didn't want to sell lots of them, I'd have something up there to get your name out there, get your value out there. If you're in Europe, in the UK, and they're legally bound to put your name and your web address up there. So there's a lot of marketing extra value by being on these sites, whether they're generating bookings for you or not. So just having the strategy, if I'm not being on them, I find that a pretty weak strategy overall. Even if you are doing 100% direct and you're doing really, really well, coming back to my first 2 points, I think that takes your risk higher, and it doesn't make your business resilient if you're only doing direct.
Yeah, I think at a bare minimum, you need to make sure that not only you have these marketplace partners, but that if you do have a direct offering and you also want to drive traffic to there, that you are at least as good in terms of your product pages, in terms of the ease of the booking flow. We had a booking software entire day focused on this, and we talked about some of this in December. You can go back and watch the video. The booking software allows you to have an easily bookable calendar widget that shows when the next tours are coming up. So listen, I ran a poll in December. What is the number one trend that you noticed for your business over the course of 2022? And over 50% of the respondents ranked number one, last minute bookings. last minute booking with instant verification, instant tickets, instant availability that happens on these digital platforms is incredibly attractive to customers if that is the booking trend. And you can bemoan it, but if that's the trend, then you want to make sure that your direct offerings are at least as good. And on top of that, you want to make sure that you understand whether or not you as a business can play that game. You have the choice of not playing it, but there's certainly going to be, and I think it's natural, a conflict, at least sort of a conflict, where the policies of a general, large-scale, uncurated marketplace is going to have different values in terms of its organization and its efficiencies than catering to every whim and sort of operational differentiation of individual operators. And I don't think it's a perfect. I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect answer. But Peter, what does the balance of that look like right now when you think of?
The other thing that's not always thought through well is who is your actual customer, because invariably you'll have a range of different types of customers. Now, so when I was operating, I wanted OTAs to bring me the customers I couldn't get, or I was going to find really difficult and too expensive to get. So if I'm wanting American guests, I'm wanting Dutch guests, I'm wanting German guests, I'm wanting French guests, I could do it, and I did it, but it was expensive and it was annoying and it took me lots of time. So I was quite happy to subcontract that customer acquisition to an OTA. But then if I was measuring my footfall on a daily basis and I was starting to see OTA bookings landing in my business who were coming from Edinburgh, then I've got something wrong, because I shouldn't be needing OTAs to acquire local business, but I do need OTAs to acquire distance business. So you've got to look at who your customer is. And I know we all have different, or everybody has different customer channels, and be working different channels and different distributions to acquire your different types of customers. So then we get back into where, as I mentioned, within your direct channels, you had all these different segments as well. And my OTA distribution was always horrendously low as a percentage of the overall business. It would be like in a good year, maybe 2%, 3%. We didn't do a lot of business with the OTAs. But then we had a vertical called Stag and Hen, where stag event, bachelor events, hen parties. I used niche OTAs for them, and they had 30% odd of that vertical of me, because I couldn't reach that market in the scale that I needed to reach it. So I needed to use these niche OTAs who had a much better offering than me in there to bring some of that in there. So it's too many operators just look at this as across their business, all of their business, and you really need to get into who your customer are, who your verticals are, you're really creating distribution channels for each vertical within your business, and who are the best partners to work with within there.
That can't be overstated. Know your customer, know your business, know your product lineup, and use these partners strategically. I think the biggest mistake you could probably make is thinking there's a general consensus out there in our community of 5,500 global experience operators everywhere around the world, and that if you crowdsource people's answers, oh, I like this person, and I like this platform, and I like this platform, that you'll get the answer for you. And that is a fool's errand, because if you go back to our podcast archives, for example, we interviewed recently Arnaud Arzoulet, who is the CEO of Babylon Tours. He runs a all across Europe walking tour business, and almost all of his business happens purely through OTAs. And I've interviewed him about that, and he's extremely happy with the setup. He says, I don't want to deal with SEO and with PPC and with all my different types of ad spends in a constantly shifting marketing world. I'm happy with my partners, and yet I also understand the dangers, and it means I've got to play the game very well. Got to make sure the quality of my tours is top freaking notch, that I don't have massive misspellings and bad naming conventions for my tours and those types of things, that he plays it intelligently, but it's largely his entire business. Now, that's one end of the spectrum. You have the other ends of spectrums where people say, no, I work with corporate, largely local companies. I work with travel agents. I work with all of these types of more in-person partnership-based relationships. And those types of offerings come in a very different way. It's a very different type of distribution partner, and they've never used a digital marketplace in their life. Day tours versus multi-day tours is also a very important thing to think about in terms of positioning yourself in the marketplace world. And we're going to talk to a multi-day marketplace in just a minute. All that to say, our hope is for today and for our OTA and reseller software directory, which we're unveiling tomorrow. We hope you use the searching, the filtering, the videos, all of the information that we're going to be providing to help you make more intelligent and strategic choices for your business. With that, I want to invite up an operator. I am going to bring up to the stage not only a friend of Tourpreneur, very much so, but a fantastic operator. She unfortunately is from Wales.
Be nice.
Just kidding.
Very fortunately from Wales.
The
As my
Scots,
Celtic friends will agree.
they made me say that.
It's better than England.
But more importantly, you are in the victors of the Great Revolution of the 18th century. You are in Florida. Tori Eaton of Grayline Orlando, the executive vice president. A huge welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I have another friend to bring up along the way as well. He's a recent appearance on the Tourpreneur podcast. We have John O'Sullivan from both 1 Minute Tours, his little TikTok experiment, and more importantly, Depot Adventures out of Melbourne, Australia, and Minneapolis. He only leads tours in cities that start with M. Welcome, John.
True. Next stop, Malta.
Exactly. So, John and Tori, I wanted to bring you on here because both of you are very different businesses and both of you work with online travel agencies and a variety of other types of reseller partners. And I just wanted to get your take as from the boots on the ground kind of experience with what you've considered and what you've thought about when choosing your distribution partners. And we'll start with you, Tori. Tell us about your business and about your reseller partners.
Yeah, so Grayline in Orlando, we're celebrating our 30th birthday actually this year in June. We were opened in 1993 as Gator Tours, and then we became Grayline in 2006. So Grayline, for those who are not aware, are a licensing company that we all market together as one conglomerate, but we are all individually owned and operated businesses. So here in Orlando, we have around 30 different sightseeing tours, and we have a very large distribution network. Like Peter was saying, we have everything from boots on the ground, like local, all the working with the concierge and all the different timeshare companies and things here in Orlando, and the magazine adverts and such, and direct business through direct. Of course, direct costs you money. You guys hit on that earlier. It's just like an OTA. If you're doing social media advertising, pay-per-click, retargeting, all these things come at an expense. We work with traditional methods, wholesalers like receptive tour operators and travel agents and tour operators that bring people on charter flights here to Orlando from various places around the world, and of course with all the OTAs. OTAs make up a good portion of our business. We try and work with all the OTAs. If there's a new OTA that comes to town, as in starts working with Orlando, we like to be listed with them. And we work with everyone from the regional ones that, are very regional, based in Asia or Spain, through to the big worldwide ones that everyone knows. And I try and we have two sets of product here in Orlando. We have our sightseeing tours, and then we have ticket onlys, because over the years, a lot of the different theme parks and attractions in Orlando have put very high goal limits in for purchaser, for being able to sell their tickets. And so over time, a lot of people were unable to get their contracts because they weren't having enough sales. So they would come to us and ask to buy tickets from us. So we started doing that. And over the years, we've added more and more tickets. And within our ticket products, we actually sell a lot of small independent tourpreneurs, as in an independent boat ride or an independent pedal bus sort of ride, smaller operators. And I often have conversations with them, and they'll say, I don't have time to manage OTA platforms, or I'm not going to pay the commission for it. And just like Peter was saying, I really try and explain to them, this is a marketing fee, and it's a marketing fee that you don't have to pay up front. If you go to the local magazine, you have to pay the advert today for the advert that's going to run for the next 6 months. With an OTA, you're only paying those fees if they sell for you. Yes, there could be a $50 sign-up fee or something for some of them, but I mean the big commission fees. You're only paying those if they are successful in selling your tour products. So it's like a reverse advert that you're putting it out there, you're getting your tours and attractions out there, and then if they are successful in selling them, you're paying a percentage back. It's a sales channel for us. It's one of the many ways that we sell tours. If we're not listed there, our competitors are going to be listed there. So you need to be, in our point of view as a company, you do need to be listed. Do I want 100% of my business coming from there? No. I like to have a mixture of multiple different ways to sell, for people to buy our tours and tickets. But that could be right for somebody else's business, like the gentleman that does the walk-in tours you just mentioned. But for us, because we've been doing it so many years, we have many different channels, and we try and make it that not any one client goes to more than 10% of our business, because for us, that's where we feel that gets dangerous. If they were to move their business out elsewhere, they would be moving a large chunk of our business. But we do and try work with everyone, and we have close relationships with everyone. And to a lot of the smaller operators, we'll sometimes tell them, if you're having problems getting your products loaded, come to us and we can maybe help you, and you can come on our reseller contract and we can help promote other people, because then we try and help the OTAs by building their products out also. It's a little bit unique.
Tori, you came up with something there that I hear every single day of my life coming from the community, and it was a statement you said, I don't have time to X, Y, Z. Unless evolution's changed, the last time I looked, we've all got exact same time every day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So I don't buy the argument from operators that I don't have enough time to sell my product. Because if you don't have enough time to sell, you're in the wrong business. You've got to get your time allocation priorities, and prioritizing your time. Sales, if you want to be successful in this game, because we all know this game is not easy, if you want to be successful, sales and marketing has to be your top priority.
It's got to be your number one. No, I say to them back all the time, reallocate your time. Look at if you've got to hire someone to help you with a different portion of the job, whether that's accounting, whether that's a tour guide that works for you, 1 or 2 days a week, or whether that is even your sales and marketing. Maybe that's then you're going to have someone to help you with your sales and marketing. You're going to go to another operator and work together, that you're going to load some products for them. They're going to load some products for you. There's ways to do it that you can get, it does. And once it's on, it's not that much time, especially nowadays with the fantastic integration systems that majority of us have from all the different tech companies. Back in the 2000s, 2005, 2008, where we had to manually everything on, even before extranets, where we had to do all those Excel forms and uploading and, faxing the reservations. We don't have those problems anymore. Nowadays, we have these fantastic systems. Even some of them have got extranets. Yes, you have to update, but generally the rates come over, the availability comes over, even the, your tour videos and your photos and stuff. So nowadays, if you can't find yourself the time, then you need to reallocate your resources to find them.
That time allocation is, to me, it's the cost to acquire. Obviously, there's financial costs as well, but there's the cost to acquiring the customer, your customer, which is your distribution partner. It comes with an upfront loaded cost. If you do it well and you end up with a partner, that partner's there, like you've been saying, for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
So if you outweigh your cost of acquisition against the amount of business that's going to come over 10 years, your cost of acquisition is zero, or as next to zero as it can possibly get.
Yeah, and you have to, and then you have to prioritize those relationships. Nowadays I'll be out with clients all the time and say, I haven't heard from XYZ company for so long, and they haven't. And I'm like, if I've got a problem, they're my friends at this point. All the OTA management, I'll just WhatsApp them, or text them and say, hey, XYZ is happening. Can you assist me? And I'll get a response back, within an hour, and we're working on it. We have a communication stream. So if you just load something and then you're not trying to find out who your partner is, who you can speak to, following up with them, they're really busy people also. They have hundreds and hundreds of products that normally load in a one person that deals with a region. But a communication is a two-way street. So if you're just going to speak to someone or send them angry emails about your stuff's not correct or the rates are too expensive, this person's not going to want to work with you. So if, you know, it's a two-way stream. So if you're working with them, they'll want to ride on the boat with you also. If you know, you're trying to help each other, they want to sell more of your products. They want to make the money off your products also. They want, at the end of the day, most of the OTAs, they're on, you know, they're not commissionable, but they have sales targets themselves, the management team there. So they want your products to sell well because it's good for them. It's good for their targets and bonuses if your stuff's selling well. So they'll work with you to get to those levels where you need to be. But it is a two-way street for communication, you know. And I often see on the chat blogs, people are just, it's negative. People are writing, oh, all these mad things. Well, most of the OTAs have a person that's in the Tourpreneur group or so and looks at it all. And I always think, wow, you guys, you know, don't cut your fingers off here. They're trying to help you. And you're just spouting all this mad content about people.
Yeah, it's I've never had trouble with people who want to sell things and make me money. I've got to be honest with that. As long as it's stacked in the right way and as long as you're making money, I've never had.
Well, this is it. As long as you've done your build correctly, that when you've built your tour product, you've built in a level for commission. I mean, it's cost of business. And for people that keep saying, if I sell direct, it doesn't cost me anything, because you guys always say it costs you. You know, it's costing you money. You really get yourself a marketing company and look how much the cost of acquisition is on a sale. It's not 0%, you know? No. So just make sure your margins are fair, that your company is profitable. And when you build a new tour product, make sure you put it in there. And guess what? If someone does buy direct, then you've made yourself a couple of more percentage, you know, than what you would have before. But if you've priced that tour correctly, people are going to pay for it. You know, if you've just gone, oh, I'm going to add 100% to it because I need, you know, to pay all these people, different deal. But if you know how to price your tours correctly and you're doing that, people are going to pay for the tour.
So we've heard from a very big operator with very, very many different distribution partners. I want to switch over to John. You're in a little different situation. You're a smaller walk-in tour operator. Tell me about your read on this perennial topic and how it applies to your business.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I'm a tour guide. I've been a tour guide for over 12 years, and I've fallen into owning a business on top of that. But I come from the tour guide background, and I think implicit in the tourpreneur community is that word tour isn't just about the product, but the fact that we have a lot of owner operators, that we are tour guides at heart. We are people who default to clipboards and pencils, and our motivation often comes from that one-to-one experience that we get on the ground. And I think what Tori and Peter are saying is, you know, the job changes when you're in a business leadership role, and that your job is to attract sales, and there is a need for business leaders to change that thinking. But there's also some assumptions, I think, being made. Tori, when you talk about that as long as your product is priced correctly, you'll be fine. Because I don't think those products are priced correctly, because I think people come from, a lot of people I see in the tourpreneur community, myself included, think with a perspective of, well, how much do I feel good about charging for my own time, as opposed to thinking of it from the more formal way that people who are classically educated in the tourism space think about things. And this is something I've only, embarrassingly late came to in my career, this understanding that I have to take 30 to 50% extra and allocate that to marketing dollars on top of what I want to be paid. Because when I started out, it was, well, I guess if I made X number of dollars for every tour, I'd be happy. And I guess I can hope to have 5 people on each tour. So X divided by 5 equals what my ticket price is going to be. And I think that that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, and other people can learn if they want to be able to work with OTAs, is that they need to charge more than they would be comfortable charging previously to be able to do it. Because once they can do that, we are living in a golden age of owner operators working with OTAs. In the past, this has been gate kept. In the past, you'd pay someone like Greyline to have the brand licensed to you because of the access they can give you to these custom API integrations with big, massive global companies like Expedia and Viator. But now, I get to compete with Greyline in Melbourne, for example, because I have access to the same tools that they do. I can load pictures in the same way that they can, and imagery and content in the same way that they can. And I can be scrappier because I'm a smaller organization who can change really quickly. And so when someone like TripAdvisor introduces a feature that lets you include all of the stops that you go to on your tour, which then gets integrated site-wide through TripAdvisor.com, one of the top websites in the world, I can really take advantage of it. So I think it's a really special opportunity right now for operators of my scale, smaller scale, to be able to compete with the big boys in here, because there's been this revolution, there's been this democratization of access to OTA platforms, and that's really exciting.
But sorry to interrupt. Just to clarify though, not all grey lines are the same size though, John. When you say like your tour guide and operator, I tour guided twice last week. Like where in grey line, you may think like grey line Orlando, we're this big name. And we still have, we're still owned independently, operated independently. I've got videos that are coming up actually next week on our TikTok of my daughter with me tour guiding, multiple times over the Christmas holidays, because that's what you do. You all jump on tours. But it's something you get to as you start to grow and you're having staff, that you get to the point of, it's not about paying yourself anymore. It's about paying your staff. So once you, as you said, when you start making those tour pricing, then all of a sudden, I need to maybe hit 8 people to pay that staff the correct amount of wages. Then, in order to maybe get 8 people, you're going to have to take some outside resources, on top of your own direct marketing. That's when we start, you start to add the commissions. But I agree with you. I mean, it's open marketplace. It's been open marketplace now, not for 1 year, for a number of years. It's been open marketplace. And no matter how early you were in on the game, whether you had a grey line or whether you had a city sites, no matter what your company name was, now it's been at least 6 years that a lot of these marketplaces are open for. We all remember when Airbnb Experiences launched, and all the owner operators and buy locals and things started coming against some of these gated websites. But it's been an open marketplace model for a number of years now, and they've been out there. So there are opportunities for everyone to get online, and I truly think they should, no matter the size of the business. That's my take.
Tori and John, I know both of you do this, and I want to get your thoughts on this. You both work also with affiliate relationships with other operators and other experience providers. I think one of the powerful things of booking software and OTA platforms is the connectivity between your competition, but they're actually partners that can combine to offer bundles, to expand your product range, to offer upsells that are commissionable by you. I'd love to hear your experience, Tori, with that as a revenue channel, and then John also.
Yeah. We have a lot of ticket only bundles, or we'll put together 2 or 3 different tickets in the marketplace, the ones that we offer transportation to, ones that we don't offer transportation to, and then we'll bundle them with tours. So we might have, for instance, a medieval times ticket and a Kennedy Space Center tour, or a icon wheel with the Kennedy Space Center tour. And so we'll bundle them. That's actually selling really well for a number of activities, and there's a lot of the resellers a lot of the operators that don't work with resellers, so it helps get their products onto the resale platforms. And then even with direct competition here in Orlando, other sightseeing tour companies, we do work together sometimes also if they've got days where they're not going to have enough people to run tour vehicles. And we have the privilege of, we have some smaller 14 passenger vehicles, and not everyone has them in Orlando. Some only, charter the full size buses, that will help them, and they'll book their people onto our tours and things, and we'll run their people for them. We are very active for like social media and TripAdvisor and things. And if it's their customers, we don't give our TripAdvisor cards and things out. We respect those relationships, that if they come from another sightseeing tour company and they've put them on our vehicles, then if a customer wanted to write about Grey Line, they know how to write about Grey Line. Our tour guides mention it, but we wouldn't give that customer a card that says, review us specifically on greyline.com, because they have come from another sightseeing tour operator that has a listing on these websites. But we found that you can work against your competition, or you can work with them. And to work with them is a much healthier relationship, we find. There are some always that don't want to, play in the playpen per se, that want to work independently and separately and do all the kinds of, things that not fun competition relationships do. But as long as you are confident in what the products that you sell, I don't mind ever working with other tour companies because I'm confident in our own products. So it's only going to enhance our product offerings. It's not going to detract from us by, putting other people in the boat with us and trying to sail down the river, I say.
John, final word.
I haven't really taken advantage of doing integrations with OTAs and bundled tickets and stuff because I find it too complicated to get people the tickets and the timed entries and all that stuff. I informally work with my competitors. I'm 100% in agreement with Tori that it's the way to go, but it's more my competitor has a full tour. She says, can you take it? And I'll take a customer off her or vice versa during the high season. For me, my strategy with OTAs has always been keep it simple. And so don't have departures run on the second Tuesday and third Thursday of the month. Run them every single day at the same time. Have them be consistent. Don't have a ton of different ticketing types and prices and things like that. Just very, very simple, easy to understand for the consumer coming on. That's always been my strategy.
Some great advice, and there's actually one thing I'd like to pick up, Johnny, because it was music to my ears. Is it goes back to the whole aspect of how you should price your tours, and a lot of people, business owners, not just in any walk of life, but especially with tour operators, they focus on pricing their tours by what they think in time, in terms of what that time would be in terms of their number of hours, whereas you should never, ever, in my opinion, ever price anything on time. It should be priced on value. No, it's like, no, for example, I've got 27 years experience in marketing. I can do something in 1 hour, whereas someone in my team who's maybe had 1 or 2 years experience may take 3 or 4 hours to do something. So because I do it in less time, should I charge less? No, you charge more because it's the value that you bring to your product and the value that you bring to your experience, and that's what you're paying for, and that's what a lot of operators need to get into their head, that is what you should be charging for, not because something will take 1 hour or 2 hours, or because your competitor's charging $50 for something. Charge them the value that you are bringing, not anyone else or your time. Personally,
I would even go further. Charge the highest possible amount that you can get people to pay you. Like the correct price of your tour is the highest price you can get to fill up the tours, to make the business sustainable. You're going to get to a point where it gets so high that you get lower numbers. But when I started my bar tour 7 years ago, it was retailed for $29. Today, it goes for $149. And that's just been an exercise of increasing and increasing and increasing. And one of the great benefits of working with OTAs is that their incentive is to have the higher revenue amount, which means that they're going to prioritize selling higher ticket price items. I don't even think how much your value really comes into it as much as how much will someone give you.
How much you can get away with, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. No.
All right, you filthy capitalist and Tori. A huge thank you to both of you. But we do have to go because we have to switch over into the world of multi-day operators. But thank you for your actual real operator insight so that our barkings and ramblings don't get dismissed. You are real people who have really good relationships and you are working it out. And so thank you both. And
thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
We are done with day tours for at least a little bit. We are flying off to the vibrant city of Vienna. Isn't it beautiful? Where the lights occasionally go off. And
I've been standing too still.
yeah, occasionally move. We're welcoming Brendan Roberts of Tour Radar and Multi-Day OTA. A huge thank you to Brendan for being here.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me along, guys.
Thank you.
Peter, I loathe to say this, but you're on mute because I did enjoy just watching you chirp.
I'm saying, Brendan, you look like you're in some sort of cell there. Have you been arrested recently?
No, all's well, all's well. Just in a little meeting booth here. Yeah, meeting space is always at a premium, so I'm only taking up a one-person space here to join you guys today.
Very efficient, very Austrian. So, Brendan, tell us. A lot of people think about OTAs, especially, and distribution, especially in the world of day tours, Viator, Get Your Guide, some of these big names. Tour Radar isn't a new company, but you're more recent. And I would love to get your insights on just how the multi-day landscape appears differently and works differently in this sort of world of selling your tours online?
Yeah, I mean, big question there. Multi-day tours. I mean, it's a collection of experiences. We like to define multi-day tours, or organized adventures is the term that we use. And an adventure can mean so many different things to so many people. So we try and classify it as a collection of experiences that are fulfilling to the soul. So I was listening to that chat just then with John and Tori, and day tours, fantastic. It's people get a sense of what's going on. A hint of a city or a walking tour or whatever else, and a multi-day experience. What we sell, the average sale, it's over 3,000 euros and can be 10 to 15 days in duration. Can be shorter, can be longer, but really enriching experiences and a great way for people to immerse themselves in a new culture, a new travel style, something like that. And it brings with it so much extra complexity. I mean, I'm a big evangelist. I love organized adventures, but it brings so much complexity, and it needs so much specified marketing and attention to detail, because not only are you having your daily experiences where you might be doing a walking tour during the day, it brings in accommodation, it brings in sometimes small groups, it brings in restaurants, it brings all of these facets together, quite often multiple specialists or multiple guides, and guides, that bring so much life to the adventure and the experience that people are going to have. And all of this comes together in this one product that's got to be delivered. So there's a lot of moving parts in a multi-day tour or an organized adventure. And that's why you need to specialize for it, right?
Peter?
No, mute again.
Maybe it's easier to lip read for the Scotsman.
Yeah. You don't want to lip read what I'm saying, believe me.
Yeah, let me translate. Pricing,
Yeah.
value.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit there. You won't be surprised. It is complex, because I was a multi-day operator. I know it is complex, but one of the things, our aim is to make these operators and Tourpreneur more profitable. So a lot of them, which are day operators, look at multi-day as complex. And we know, as you just described, it is complex. But taking a day tour and making it a 2-day tour makes it from day tour into a multi-day tour. So there's baby steps that you can take to becoming a multi-day operator. And you may never become a 10, 14-day, 3-week, 4-week, 5-week multi-day operator. But if you can take your day tours and turn them into weekend tours, or turn them into 3 days, or turn them into 5-day breaks, I guarantee you, if you do it right, you're going to make more money than you're going to be as a day operator. I've done both. I've done complex and I've done hybrids. So I'm a big fan of trying to encourage the community to look at their day tours, look at what they're doing, and can they take the day tour and make it into a multi-day tour, a multi-day experience. Why? Because a lot of our operators are only going to see the customer once, right? Especially if they're focused on tourists, because the return booking rate is very, very low if it's just tourists. So they're only having their customer once. So if you're only getting the customer once, it is your duty to get as much money out of that customer as possible, right? And the only way you're going to do that is by moving from a day tour to a multi-day tour. So slightly disagree with on the complexity, because if it's a 10-day tour, 50-day, it is complex. I've been there. Things go wrong. But you can do a simple 2-day tour to get started in this life of multi-day operating.
No, I don't think we disagree with each other, Pete. It's a good way and we see a lot of operators that do scale up that way, and a lot that come from the other end, right? So we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah, I'll disagree with something else you said, because organised adventures. There's a lot of disagreement coming here, Brendan, as you know. Organised adventures. I get it. You want to be organised. It has to be attention to detail, OTAs, and all the stuff. You have to be organised. But there is a trend in the world at the moment just to be too organised. So I'm a big fan of disorganised adventures. Just go and do something and experience it on the ground, and nonsense to all the technology.
And I think that's why we picked the term. I think that's why we picked the term, because it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And that's why we offer different adventure styles. And so I'll avoid the word complexity, but there's a range of extra data points. So when you're looking to specialize in multi-day, are you talking about something that's fully guided? Is it self-guided? Is it independent? Is it a cycling trip? Are you going to be on a ship? Where are you staying, right? And so it's not complexity, but there's added detail and extra data that you bring along that provides exactly the opportunities that you were just talking about, right? Everyone's got something different. Adventure or a tour means something different to different people. And that's why we collect all of these data points, right? So that we can actually properly articulate the amazing adventures and experiences that are out there, whether they're 2 days, whether they're 15 days, being able to articulate that to the customer, because I think the opportunity that exists between all of us, whether it's the operators, OTAs, or I mean, we like to think of ourselves as an adventure booking platform, working together, not just to explain this product set, but to actually grow the market together. I was a great listening to Tori before, talking about how working with our partners and even with our competitors grows this industry, and we think that there's amazing opportunity in this whole space. And that's why we want to collect all of that extra data points, right? So that we can show people all of the wide range of experiences that are out there. It's not just, like you say, a highly organized adventure. There's something for everyone.
Let's actually talk about selling these organized or disorganized adventures or whatever else online, because I've been a multi-day operator for a long, long time, and I'm curious about these data points and what they tell you about the purchase behaviors of customers buying much more expensive packages online than a $45 walking tour. Because the orthodoxy that we've always believed in, and I still continue to believe in, is that the human contact seals the deal. The inquiry forms, the follow-ups, the Zoom calls, the phone calls, all of that attention to detail of the customer journey, which is much longer, seals the deal. What's been your experience as a booking platform where people can instantly book these things? And what does that customer journey look like as a digital purchase?
Yeah, there's not one single straight line that I can introduce you to. Just like the wide range of adventures, there's a wide range of journeys. But I can give you some averages that talk to that, right? I know it was a point that Peter picked up on a previous discussion, and there was a great thread in the Tourpreneur community. We measured actually in Black Friday. So after we last spoke, Peter, we measured the number of bookings that we had that didn't have a touch point, a manual touch point from either our team, our customer support team, which is 24/7 around the globe, or with the operator support teams. During Black Friday, 55% of our sales didn't have a manual touch point. But what we do know is that on average, customers will visit 4 to 6 of our channels before they book. So that's why working sometimes with an OTA and being able to plug into the things that we can do, the email journeys that we do, the personalization of the algorithm for presenting them with the right opportunities, the different ways that we can reach them through our days to come, like the online content magazines that we create. All of these things, we know customers are engaging with content. It's not always manual, right? And so there's a huge portion of people who are doing all of their research. They're being brought back to the platform to finally book, and we're moving them down the funnel to keep them engaged, to inspire them to book that adventure. But there's also the other side of it, right? Like I say, it's not a singular journey. We also have customer support teams that are there that for super high basket sizes or for groups, they'll get funneled through to their own dedicated sales specialist, right? So that person can hold their hand from their very first inquiry all the way through as they try to customize or get a tailor-made package that they can book through the operators on the platform. And so understanding the journey of the customer, seeing where they're at and meeting them at that point and making sure that we're re-engaging them throughout the process, super critical, right? And that's something that we spend all of our time, our product and engineering teams are working as we work hand in hand with our operator partners to understand the adventures that they're selling, making sure that we're putting the right things in front of the right people. And for our sales specialists, knowing, okay, which operators have we collected the data on that we know that we can customize their itineraries? We know that itinerary can be booked privately, or maybe it can't. And so collecting that point allows us to put the right thing in front of the right people at the right time. So there's no single journey. I wish I could give you the silver bullet for that one, Mitch. But it's about looking at that data and really following it through and making sure that you're addressing those big cohorts coming through and that you're there to meet them when they're online.
There's been a lot of talk over the last few months, especially since the pandemic, about how, and Mitch was rightly saying, a lot of people still inquire online for tours, multi-day tours, etc. So, but how you seen that trend that a lot of people are saying that booking online with these more expensive experiences are increasing a lot over the last few months, especially since the pandemic? Are you seeing that at your side of things?
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. So not only have I think a lot of operators and certainly ourselves reporting that we're back above 2019 levels, but what we're also seeing is higher average order values, right? So of course, over time, prices have gone up. So we know that that's a factor of things as well. And that's important to consider when we look at that. But the increase in the order value, anecdotally, we'd sort of start saying people are taking their once in a lifetime journeys, but I don't think it's that. We've already seen return customers come back. So there's terms like whether it's revenge travel or whether it's people prioritizing that need to get out and travel. We're absolutely seeing it. We're seeing the rise of people. Some of the destinations that were super popular pre-COVID have come back, but also people started prioritizing time in nature and getting away. And that's when our mindset at TourRadar also was like, yeah, people need to be able to customize this. They need to be able to book privately and go in their own groups. They want more choice, but they also want to understand that some people, sure, want to jump on a coach and just be seeing all the stops and be flat out. Others want more flexibility and spare time built in that. And so making sure that we're articulating all of those things so that people understand just how many different things they can do within these organized adventures or disorganized adventures, however they choose to book them, right? There's something there for everyone. And I think working together, both us as resellers, OTAs, adventure booking platforms, travel agents, and the operators together, there is so many more customers out there who are currently taking other options. And when we open their eyes to the beauty of these products, I think that we'll continue to see that growth, Chris. I think we're really buoyant about it.
Okay.
At the risk of turning this event into a disorganized adventure, I am going to draw you to a close so that I can invite your colleague up and we can begin our official pitch days now. Brendan,
Absolutely.
A huge thank you for joining us and for giving us insights.
Pleasure. Great to chat.
Bye. Cheers.
All right. Did you hear that? We're no longer multi-day operators. Now we're organized adventurers, except for Peter, who's just...
I'm never going to be organized ever.
Doesn't surprise me.
Trust me, I know. I'm in business with you. All right. Any final thoughts from both of you before we begin pitch day? Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, it's from what we're all just been saying is look at your pricing, try some of these OTAs, treat them like a marketing channel, get your products on there, get more brand awareness from them, see what more sales you get from, especially those we talked about time. People maybe don't have the time to do certain things, run the sales, do the tours, do all the other things from that as well. Especially if you're starting out in business, that's where an OTA can really help you out, and all these distribution channels can really help you out so you can focus on the sales, so someone is doing all that for you. And then once you get more revenue, then you can start hiring, start looking at marketing agencies, whatever it is you want on from that. But it's just utilize the OTAs as a marketing channel to help you grow your business so you can get to a place where you do have more time to do other things and hire more people. So
that's a good point. It's a kickstart. It's a great kickstart for early stage businesses as well. Yeah. But it can also be something that you get addicted to, and you've got to do that hard work as well of pounding the pavement, of meeting your human relationship, other humans to make it happen, to make your business grow and diversify. Peter, final word.
Whatever your distribution strategy is at the moment, however many partners you've got, if you've got 5 partners, 10 partners, 20 partners, your aim for 2023 should be able to exit 23 with 100% increase on how many partners you've got at the moment. You haven't got enough. That's the answer for most of the operators in Tourpreneur community. You do not have enough distribution partners. They're only going to bring you more business. Make sure it's priced right, but aim to get out of this year with double the distribution partners you've got at the moment. That's my first point. Second point, going back to Brendan there on multi-day, and my point earlier about getting to a 2-day experience as early steps in this. If you're not a multi-day operator, why should you become a multi-day operator? It's not just going to make more money per sale at the time. Go and speak to multi-day operators, look at their return booking rate, and then compare it to your return booking rate as a day tour operator. And I can guarantee you will want to get into multi-day operating when you see the different return booking rate versus day tours.
Shh, don't give it away how nice it is over here. All right. I would like to thank my 2 distribution partners, Peter and Chris. We're going to take a 10-second break, and at the end, all of us will be gone, and you will hear from Caitlin from TourRadar. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to our guests. Time for pitch day.
Hey everyone, thank you so much to the Tourpreneur team for having me here and for having TourRadar at Pitch Day. I hope you guys all just listened to our Chief Commercial Officer, Brendan Roberts, have that great conversation about organized or disorganized adventures with the Tourpreneur team. So my name is Caitlin Duggan, and I am the Global Director of Business Development here at TourRadar. And here I'm going to walk you through a little bit about us. So about TourRadar, we were founded in 2010, and we're the world's leading adventure booking platform exclusively for organized adventures, which we found it is Peter's favorite term. So what does that mean? Is we make it easy for anyone to go online and be able to find and book an adventure. We have a global presence. So we have our head office where you just heard from Brendan. He is in Vienna, Austria. We have an office in Toronto, Canada. That's where I am based here in the cold, and one in Brisbane, Australia as well. So we have 24/7 support for not only our customers, but for our operators as well. So we have that business development team globally as well to be able to support our operators. And with our operators, we're able to offer over 50,000 adventures across 200 different countries. So we really have something for every customer that's looking to go on an adventure. And as Brendan kind of touched on, but an adventure could mean something different to everyone, right? It could be going on a hiking trip, could be cycling, could be even just going to the spa. So really, we have 14 different adventure styles, but there is something for everyone. And since the inception of TourRadar, we've had over 100 million site visits, over 25 million unique messages sent through our system, over €500 million in bookings, and over 4 million days of adventures sold. So it's something we're super proud about, how much we've been able to work with our operators to help them grow in this space and to help the organized adventure and multi-day tour space grow. You might be wondering who the TourRadar customer is. So we are 60% female, and you can see we have a wide range of ages here. We do have that younger age demographic, but of course you can see we have a very strong presence in that 60 plus range as well. Our largest market is the United States, but we have a strong presence in Australia, New Zealand, UK, Canada. And over the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of growth and a lot of traction in the German and the Dutch markets as well. So you might be wondering why operators choose to partner with TourRadar. So we automate the booking process for customers. We make it as easy as possible for a customer to book an organized adventure online. And with this, we are a true customer acquisition channel for our operators. So when a customer goes on TourRadar and they book an adventure with you, you will get the booking confirmation and then all the customer details, including that customer's email address, which is then yours. And something we're really proud about at TourRadar, and Brendan again touched on this, is that we're really helping to bring more and more people and more exposure to the multi-day organized adventure space and getting more customers exposed to different brands. So 85% of all bookings on TourRadar start with a generic search term. So they don't come on TourRadar looking for a specific brand. They are looking for a destination or a travel style, and then TourRadar helps them expose them to different brands that maybe the customer didn't know before. And again, that's something we're really proud of. We've had bookings for over 2,000 different operators. So we're really excited to get more and more operators out into the industry. We also have a really strong SEO presence. So TourRadar ranks on the first page of Google for over 90% of our destination-based search terms. So when a customer is looking for an adventure, they're going to go to Google and they're going to come across TourRadar at some point. So being on TourRadar helps our operators get that strong billboard effect and have a better, stronger online presence. We have over 3 million email subscribers and get over 2 million visitors to our site worldwide each month. And this allows operators to reach passengers into selling regions where they may be wanting to grow. Now, some of the tools that we'll touch on Demo Day on Thursday. So if you want to come and visit us and join us, we'll go into more detail. But it's something like this, our operator dashboard. So this is a tool that our team has built, and it helps you manage everything to do with your partnership on TourRadar. So your profile helps manage all of your tools, your tours. And here you can see just some screenshots of what the dashboard looks like. But it's a very simple, easy tool to manage your tours and your inventory, pricing, data points, everything like that. One thing that's really important to mention is that these tools are always growing and iterating. So when we work with operators, it is a partnership. We want to learn from you guys. We're happy to help share any insights, but we want to know how you guys work. Are our tools working for you? So these tools are always adapting and growing based on the feedback we get from our operators. And the operator dashboard really is a one-stop shop. So you can manage all your inquiries and bookings in the operator dashboard as well. It's super easy to filter and search in here and to be able to bring up any of these bookings. When you bring up a booking, you can you go into the TourRadar communication tool, which is what we call the booking conversation page. And here is where you'll talk back and forth with the customer, be able to make any adjustments, send any attachments. You can notify TourRadar in here if you need assistance, and you'll have that global assistance as well. As I mentioned, all these tools are always growing. So a great example of this is how much we've seen the custom and tailor-made space grow in the past couple of years. Custom and tailor-made now actually makes up about 10% of bookings on TourRadar. And with that, we've had to adapt our tools and iterate on our tools. So from feedback from our customers and from our operators, but how they need different tools to be able to adapt and edit these booking conversation pages or the operator dashboard, we've been able to grow and make these adjustments with our operators. Now, traditionally, TourRadar is a B2C platform, but over the past 18 months, we've grown and the team has made more B2B tools so that our operators can have more opportunity within the industry as well. So some of the solutions that we can offer to the operators include something like the inquiry and payment solution as well. So this is using our inquiry and payment solution and putting it directly into your website. So it's taking our technology, but using it for direct booking. So using our messaging system, using our credit card providers and our payment system, and actually being able to use that for your direct business. Another option also is the agent and booking solution. So we offer an ability and a dashboard for agents to be able to book on TourRadar. And now you can actually integrate that directly into your website. So agents can book on your website directly with you, and they can make and manage their bookings. So here you can have your own commercial agreements with the agents and just use our technology for a fee for that purpose. So again, growing and making more tools in the B2B space. So I know that's super quick. So if you have the time, please join us on Thursday. We would love to chat and go through more of the tools with you. For anyone who can't make it on Thursday, please email us at join@tourradar.com. We will be opening our onboarding and our applications soon, but for the Tourpreneur community, I'm happy to have the team chat with you before those applications start up. So please join us on Thursday or email us at join@tourradar.com. Again, thank you guys so much, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.
Jay, need you to unmute.
Thanks for that. You hear me now?
You're good to go.
Thank you. Now that you can hear me, welcome to VAKU, Wellness and Active Travel. I'm Jay Anderson. I'm going to take you through how VAKU and our proprietary platform connects travelers to the travel experiences they're looking for. VAKU's mission is to solve one of the travel industry's oldest and most prevalent problems, which is the frustration of finding a great destination, a great accommodation, and packaging that up with an experience that you would love to do. Our technology helps make the days gone, where days of dozens of windows are open, and it's a frustrating experience matching that great destination to the experiences you'd like to try. In its simplest form, VAKU connects the wellness and active traveler to those destinations and experiences they're looking for. Our proprietary technology creates a bridge between the traveler and the travel industry. We create a community of like-minded travelers and connect them to travel partners that provide the experiences they crave. For travelers, this means making it easy to search, build, and book both accommodation and the experiences that you would like to have with a wellness focus. For tour operators, this means making it easy to promote and merchandise their experiences to targeted travelers who are their customers in waiting. VKU sits in the middle between the traveler and the travel partner and operator with our technology, but also our focus on custom curating content that really meets several criteria. One, it's a well-being focus, whether that be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or cultural. Also supports active lifestyles. It's really what VKU focuses on, with the key criteria being unique, distinctive, and trusted partners. We focus on wellness-centric hotels, active tours and vacations, destination spas, and organized wellness retreats. We'll deal with hundreds of partners all across the world, both on the accommodation and on the experience side, and the ability to package those two. What makes VKU different is we are solely focused on wellness and active travel. That is our passion, and it matches completely with the travelers that we are looking to attract. We're a leader in wellness and inspiring content and marketing. We see it as a big part of our role to help those travelers with a wellness focus understand what's out there for them, help them discover it, search it in detail, and we push content out to that same constituency so they can better understand what are the great things they may be doing. But most importantly, we look at ourselves as a strategic partner to our travel providers, providing them that targeted audience they're looking for, the means with which to reach them. We help remove costly and manual booking processes that are prone to error. And at the end of the day, we're helping maximize opportunity and profitability. Make sure tour operators have their tours in front of the audience that most wants them. Obviously, the travel market is being massive and is growing again. Within that, wellness is the fastest growing segment. That was true both pre and post COVID. We use our social followers of over 200,000, our monthly reach of 2.7 million constituents, and 53,000 monthly active users to profile down to the VKU traveler, who is, as you might imagine, slightly adventurous, risk-seeking, very intentional in what they're looking for in wellness and active travel. They have disposable income, and they're willing to spend it at significantly above the average traveler rate. We skew somewhat female in our demographics, a broad range of demographics age-wise from 28 to 54. Household incomes on the high end are over $200,000, but equally accessible on the lower end at $46,000. It's one thing VKU is very proud of is making wellness and active travel accessible to all income levels. Most of our travelers reside in North America, but they travel throughout the world. How do we do it? We really capture the traveler when they're still in that dream and search mode. We do that by adding inspiration to what they may already be thinking, whether it's by location, by experience, by accommodation. And we make a simple booking experience where those things can be matched in one place so we don't lose people in the journey on the way to their experience. The VKU magazine offers industry-leading content on destinations, experiences, useful articles, all the things that might help you make a decision on where and how you want to travel with a wellness and active focus. Our core beliefs of VKU, it all starts with well-being and a passion to help people blaze trails, create connections, create community, and share that with that community, the memorable experiences we can help them create. I look forward to talking to you more on how we can help bookings. Thanks very much.
Hi, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're based. My name's Sam. I'm the owner of Niche Breaks, based out of Spain. And we basically provide self-catering accommodation to people that are looking to travel for activity purposes. Let me give you a bit of a background of it. So I'm based out in Spain, in Costa Blanca, like I said. Very, very popular out here, certainly over the last 5 years with cycling. And this is where the idea for Niche Breaks came from. So huge amount of cyclists arriving in Costa Blanca every year from about September time that come out here purely because of the pull of the big teams, the big cycling teams that travel here to do their winter training. My mum, she's got a villa out here that rents fantastically June, July, August, but remains empty most of the winter. And we thought, do you know what? There's probably a lot of people like her in the same situation that would relish the opportunity to rent their accommodation in the winter months out of season to cyclists. And the initial company name was Self Cycling Spain. Having a few more conversations and speaking to a lot of people in the area, it became apparent that there are a huge amount of experts also in this area that have got fantastic knowledge, whether it be cycling, walking, paddle tennis, bird watching, all sorts of different activities that they can share their knowledge with. So we put it all together. So my day job, my other day job, sorry, apart from this, is Hang Out on Holiday. I'm the overseas director for the company. And we supply technology, app technology, to tour operators globally so they can communicate with their guests in resort. And we thought, what a great mix. And this is where Niche Breaks came from. So what do? Okay, first of all, we find accommodation. Okay, there is huge amounts of places that people come to year round in places like Costa Blanca. But there's also places out there like Greece, for instance, that only have a summer season, but are spectacular in the winter. So we find the accommodation, whether it be through property management companies or through our website. People can load their property individually. We monitor it. We work out what kind of activity the property is suited for, and we promote it through our website. We are initially starting this year, or we just started middle of last year, with cycling, paddle tennis, health retreats, luxury holidays, walking, digital nomads, and catamarans. Digital nomads have gone absolutely bananas, especially in the Canary Islands over the last few years. Post-COVID, everybody realized they don't have to work from home anymore. So we're jumping all over that. And especially in Spain, with the new digital nomad visas coming into place, we're seeing a huge amount of people all over Spain come in to look for some great accommodation they can spend 1, maybe 2 months, or even a couple of weeks working from. So the first thing is we've picked on the activities. And then we find the local experts. Okay, so think of a local expert like a holiday rep. I was one 20 odd years ago. And what they will do is when these people come, they're probably a bit disorganized. They don't need all the organization sometimes of a full tour operator service. They've got their bike, or they know they want to come to the area. They're probably, especially in Costa Blanca, repeat guests. But they can then contact a local expert through the Niche Break application. Sorry, excuse me 1 second. So once they book their holiday, booked all the accommodation, they then get access to a Niche Break app, which they can then check into their location. They will then be introduced online to a local expert who they can ask as many questions or little questions as they want to. It might be that that expert helps them plan their routes for a week. It might be that they need bike hire or help with transfers. Or it might be that they just got to ask a few questions about a local restaurant, for instance. These experts are on hand who are also experts in that specific activity, like a concierge service for luxury, or they might be able to provide yoga activities. They might be able to provide, catamarans, or actually they also might be able to provide external trips and experiences that are away from their chosen activity. We are kicking this off basically in Europe. Through my other job with Hang Out on Holiday, I'm lucky enough to travel all over Europe, and I see daily the need for something like this. Like I said, in places like Greece, Turkey, Portugal, where people they're empty in a lot of these places are empty in the winter months. So through my other job, we've managed to, over the last 2 months, get to a point 1,200 properties and 250 catamarans that are all being loaded as we speak onto the system, and will be ready within about the next month or so. But what is our plan for 2023? And this is why I'm challenging you guys today. First of all, we're going to increase the accommodation portfolio. Okay, we are getting daily now people posting and inquiring about putting their property on, whether it be down in Del Sol with people looking for golf holidays, paddle holidays, especially down there, or up in Catalonia where the fishing breaks. We're getting a lot of inquiries about that as well now. So first job is to absolutely cement our accommodation portfolio. Next, we're going to increase the experts, okay? The beauty of somewhere like Spain or Greece is you have so much knowledge out there where often they're independent experts that do it part-time. They might be retired out there, or they might take the odd group out with friends that they've been asked to. But there are a huge amount of people that have set up a great business out here. We've got one company out in the Canary Islands that we're going to be working with that do the cycling, for instance. They have 85 experts working for them. They've got 3,000 bikes, but they don't do the holidays. Why not? They're going to be our marketing, okay? These guys will promote and push through their networks the property side of it. The locations, we are also going to increase as we go on. Obviously, I'm based in Spain. It's where I know, that's where we started off, and I've got a great team around me working on in Spain. But we're going to increase this. We're also going to be starting to look at locations that are off the grid, off the map, places that you just wouldn't think of going. So, for instance, I played golf this year just outside of Andorra. Absolutely stunning, the snow-capped mountains, but down on the level ground, it was 18, 19 degrees, and it was empty. It was beautiful, a most incredible place to visit. Wasn't absolutely packed with loads and loads of golfers. We want to find these places. Galicia in northern Spain, finding the offbeat ski tracks in the Pyrenees that are outside of the normal tourist resorts. This is what we're looking for. Like I said, also, we want to increase the activities, okay? Everywhere I go, now people are saying, oh, we could do this, we could do this. I found out the other day, Lesbos in Greece, believe it or not, in the winter, is massive for bird watching. Who would have thought? And these guys pay a fortune to go and do bird watching in Lesbos. So every day we're getting more and more activities that people are asking if we can cater for. From our point of view, it's all done through technology. We can add it, okay? I look forward to hearing from any questions. I will be back in next week to talk more about how we help with our technology through Hangout on Holiday and help you communicate with your guests in resort. But thanks very much for listening to me today.
Hi, Mitch. Thanks for having us. Oh yeah, there we go. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ivan, founder and CEO of Great Visitor Experiences. I'm really looking forward to sharing my presentation with you today. So we are a tourism technology company based out of Ireland. We specialize in the visitor economy for destinations and experience-led businesses such as museums, attractions, activities, heritage sites and trails. We help to manage and improve the visitor experience in a much more sustainable way. As part of our experience platform, we have 4 key products. They are our visitor app, our wayfinding tools, our ticketing platform, and our distribution channel. These can be purchased as part of our connected omni-channel or as individual standalone products. For this presentation, I'm going to focus on our innovative app as a standalone product. Everything that we do is about transforming how experience providers connect and communicate with in-destination visitors using data-driven technology to maximize reach, revenue, and enhance the overall customer experience. So we're meeting visitor attractions and museums every single day, and we hear a lot of the same problems keep coming back to us. The first being the high environmental impact of using paper maps, brochures, and audio-visual equipment. We also hear a lot about the outdated communication channels, again with paper, signage, and word of mouth. There's very little opportunities to get real-time promotions in front of your visitors, and it's also difficult to connect with visitors once they pass the pay barrier at your attraction or museum. We also hear of very little data being available. Yes, there's lots of information available to a business if they have customers booking online ticketing, but what about the on-site experience? What does that customer engage with? What do they like about the experience? And more important, what don't they like about the experience? And we also hear a lot about the language integration or the lack of it. So we find that more and more operators want to promote and market themselves in different market segments, but they find the fact that they can only offer their tour in English is a limiting factor. And what's really important is that over 92% of visitors who are in destination are looking up information online. So they want to know more about you, know how to get to you, and know what the experience is all about. No matter what customer we're working with, there's 3 key pillars that we focus on. It's around storytelling, communication, and wayfinding. How do people find you, and how do they navigate when they get to your premises? Our service offering is clear. We provide an integrated digital platform to help you tell your story, to communicate with customers, and to navigate visitors while showcasing everything tourism related. We have many features as part of our connected platform. For our visitor app, here are the most popular ones that our customers love. We help attraction to identify their key points of interest and craft an interesting story with a start, middle, and end. We allow you to help your customers to engage with those special points of interest and let you tell your story beyond what a visitor can see on site. You can layer content such as audio, video, text, pictures, and augmented reality into each single hotspot. We translate your content into languages that are relevant to your business. That could be 2, 5, or 10, depending on your business needs. We can help you to unlock special offers. Imagine if you had multiple groups and visitors with different nationalities coming to your site. We can help you present different special offers based on location, time, and market segments. We help you to better understand your visitors. What do they do on site? What hotspots are they engaging with? And with our exit surveys, you are receiving real-time information on what your visitors love and not love about your offering. By having really engaged visitors, they will stay with you longer. So that means they will spend more money, and they also feel that they have received value for money. And finally, we enable you to edit and change all of your content in real time, which saves you money and time. We have won multiple awards for our business portal and visitor app. When an attraction or museum or destination signs up to our platform, we design a template for them. Once this is completed by our team, the business then simply logs in and starts building their own application by adding content to the assigned template. Once reviewed, it is then pushed live to iOS and Android, and we can have you up and running in a matter of days. So from the end user, the customer, this is what they see. So they download the Great Visitor Experiences app, they select the language of their choice. Here on the left, they can see how the story has been crafted, the start, middle, and end. When the customer clicks on a particular icon or particular story, they get the multimedia effect in. So they can see the video, the audio, the text, the pictures. So any content that's related to that particular hotspot is all there. So the customers that we have, our business customers, they can provide a really engaging, immersive experience at every single point along that journey. As mentioned earlier, we enable these businesses to target their audience. They can have a generic offer that's there all the time, or they can have a tea coffee special at 10 o'clock in the morning, or they can have a lunchtime special depending on the time of day or the location of that visitor. If you, the business, tells us what your requirements are, we'll build templates to suit every single business. I'm going to leave you with a case study of one of our customers in Ireland. It's called Wicklow Jail. They had 3 key problems when they came to us. And this is quite similar to a lot of the attractions we work with. They have key challenges that we help them with. The first was that they found it difficult to tell their unique story to international visitors. They had no information on what their visitors were doing on site, and they found it challenging and difficult to target new customers. Our solution was that we helped to craft their visitor journey, and we translated all their content into 5 international languages. We have exit surveys going out to all their visitors, and we enable the business to send push notifications promoting their on-site cafe and their retail. We absolutely agree with Emer, who's the manager of Wicklow Jail, in that our platform and our technology is a game changer for attracting new business, for improving the visitor experience, and for capturing real live data on the visitors you have coming to your business. So for this afternoon, that's everything. Mitch, thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to engaging with everybody later on this afternoon and again on Thursday. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. My name is Eli, and I'm the Senior Destination Manager at Get Your Guide, based in our San Francisco office. So we're really looking forward to sharing what we have to offer.
Hi, I'm Seth Swan. I'm the Senior Destination Manager for California, also out of the SF office. I'm really excited to be here, just like Eli, to share about Get Your Guide and to hopefully answer some more questions on Thursday as well. So we are Get Your Guide. We're on a mission to help tour operators, experience creators, and attractions provide unforgettable experiences to engage travelers all over the world. That's kind of our mission statement. This is kind of a slide that shows kind of some of the data points about the size and scope. We've been around since 2009. We're based out of Berlin. Heavily funded, a lot of experiences already online, 60,000 plus, a lot of tickets sold. This really just showing kind of that we're not new to the industry. We've been around about a decade and kind of in the late stage of an OTA. Where our partners reside. So a lot of global partners. Since we're based in Europe, you can kind of see that a significant portion are there, but really have grown a lot in the US over the last 5-6 years. And we obviously are not just doing guide stuff. we have attractions, theme parks, city tours, hop on, hop off transfers, all different types of activities, from the mainstay attractions all the way down to the mom and pop stuff. We offer everything. So here is just some of the bigger names we work with globally. There are more to this, but just kind of adds a little bit to the validity of where we are presently. But obviously Tower London, Empire State, Walt Disney, Broadway Inbound, the Vatican, just to name a few. But honestly, the partnerships that really match up with our brand's customer, the Modern Explorer, are more the mid-size to small-size experiences. So we're really excited to talk to anybody from whatever size activity or experience you offer. Why work with Get Your Guide? So this is kind of a simple pie chart that just shows a breakdown of where our customers come from. Essentially, since we're based in Germany, a significant portion of our customers come from Germany. But the United States, like I said, has grown a ton, and Europe, you can see, is kind of still in the mainstay of the majority of our customers. But 150 countries globally. Again, our top source markets are the US and Europe. So this kind of is a little bar chart that shows kind of when customers book. Because we're able to capture customers globally, we've seen that these customers tend to book in advance for those long haul trips. As you can see here, we are able to capture bookings throughout the customer journey. Still, since a lot of activities are booked while they're in market, you see a significant portion there, but a bunch of our customers are booking months in advance as well. So we do market in their native languages, 18 languages, and I think 6 different dialects. We have 24/7 customer service. This also does some localization stuff where people can actually read about purchase in their own currency while they're in market as well, because it's an always-on marketing tool. And again, the currencies. To further support the localized customer experience, customers can book in 40 different currencies and globally as well. So again, just making them really comfortable, no matter where they are in their customer journey, to read about your experiences in their language, to book in their currency, allowing a much higher conversion while they're in market.
Okay, so let's get into talking about the Get Your Guide business and strategy. So here, I think at the top of this whole session, we talked about, there was a lot of discussion about multiple distribution channels. So working with Get Your Guide means that we can capture travelers on every stage of the journey, and that helps have your products gain visibility at every channel. So one, of course, is our loyal customers. Those are direct. So that's through our growing app and, of course, our website. And then we have, as Seth mentioned, our always on marketing tool. So even if we're not getting you a booking, you're getting some eyeballs, and that's going to create interest in your product. But we have an extremely robust marketing platform that's like a mix of course, social media, SEO, SEM. We have CRM through newsletters. We're also launching a lot of in-destination activities. Those are called flagships. Hopefully we'll have more fun ones in the future. And then we also have a strong affiliate network where your experiences are pushed through multiple third-party channels. So that's like travel agents, airlines, hotels, rental car and agencies and beyond. So like I was mentioning, here are some of the biggest partners that we work with in the affiliate realm. These are our favorites. So as a partner, you gain access to over 10,000 strategic partners around the world. And this is an added layer of distribution. So let's be honest, maybe a Get Your Guide customer is actually found on EasyJet or KLM, or when they're on Expedia or in Google Maps. So we like to partner with these so we can help expand your reach. And this is no additional cost. This is just a value of working with Get Your Guide. And how could we forget our customers? Of course not. So that's what we're all here for. So as Seth was mentioning at the beginning, our mission is to create unforgettable experiences. And here are some ways that we try to make that happen. So we offer a best price guarantee. And that doesn't mean we're necessarily discounting or devaluing your product. We want to stay in line with our partners and our suppliers. So we just want to be in price parity and offer the best price that a customer can find online. We also offer, of course, flexible booking. We've seen in the last few years that push to people booking last minute and people not making decisions. But there's also those customers who are planning their long haul trip. So we want to be able to cater to both or all these types of audiences. Then we have, of course, our 24/7 customer service. So this is from beginning to end. When you work with us, we want to make sure we're taking care of our mutual customers. And of course, as Seth was saying, in their native language, 24/7. And we also, of course, we have our rigorous health and safety standards just to make sure that all of our customers are safe and having a great time. So safe customers are happy customers, right? And then last and not least, like I mentioned, last minute tickets, making sure that we're, having our app available. So last minute, if it's raining, it's pouring in San Francisco, by the way, you're like, shoot, what should we do? They can see all the museums and book last minute on our website. So this is our promise to our customers. All right. So working with Get Your Guide, let's talk about how we work. This is our wrap-up slide. I know this was sort of talked about up at the top, but we'll run through it. So signing up to work with Get Your Guide is quick and easy. There's no hidden fees. There's no fixed cost. You only get paid, or we only get paid when we actually send you a booking. When a customer actually goes on an incredible experience with you, that's when we take our commission. So like I said, we work on a commission basis, and payment is made by wire. So there's no invoicing required. You get it 5 business days based on the visit date, and it's automatic. And you'll be notified of all your bookings. You can access all of your bookings in our supplier portal and reference them all there. And last but not least, we're, hitting that tech world. We connect with probably more than 100 plus at this point. Ticketing systems, because we want to make it easy for our partners to connect with us, whether that's, being able to block out dates, or if a date is sold out, or adding more availability. Having the API, having your ticketing system makes working with us a breeze. But of course, we still offer other options for those who haven't picked the SRS. So that's how we work. So here's our little faces. please contact us if you have any questions. Of course, we're based in the San Francisco office, but if you're having trouble getting in touch with someone in your market, we can absolutely help with that. We want to be able to connect. And if you've never worked with Get Your Guide or you want to learn more, we have a little QR code there where you can scan it and sign up as a partner.
Yep. And Eli and I will still be a part of the Thursday session as well. So this is kind of a surface kind of stuff. If you guys have any deeper questions or more detailed stuff, we'll be around then to answer all your stuff. So thanks again for having us.
Looking forward to it. Have a good one.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charles. Thank you so much for being here to learn about Painted Circle, along with some other really great platforms. I especially want to thank Tourpreneur for inviting me to take part with today's event with this very different, very new platform called Painted Circle. So thank you all very much. Now, I know many of you in the group already from my years working with Fat Tire Tours in Berlin, and many of you are already participating with Painted Circle. So thank you all so very much. We really are creating an amazing community of tour providers, and I look forward to welcoming more of you to the platform. I founded Painted Circle coming off of my experience with Fat Tire, knowing that we could redefine how a travel site could work so that we have a more diversified way of marketing our activities and connecting with travelers. I've been told what we are building is disruptive, but I don't really see it that way. I feel we are simply building a platform that better supports those of us who create and deliver really cool, really memorable experiences, and at the same time, who want to balance that with running successful businesses. So what are those unique elements that make Painted Circle so different? Well, the big one, there are no fees and there are no commissions, period. It sounds crazy, but I know from experience the benefits of making direct sales. It's absolutely possible for us to work without the traditional commission model when we circle up and put our passion to work. Next, the platform is really simple and easy, not just to sign up and get started, but also to maintain. There are no APIs. There's no need to upload individual products or change them every time you have updates. And there's no need to worry about remittances, accounting, or requests for your listings to be updated. And finally, the platform is rooted in a passion for travel and exploration. The goal is not rewarding investors. It's not grabbing more and more market share. The goal is supporting all of you who, like myself, are passionate about sharing great travel experiences with guests. So let's talk about how this all works for you. Creating a listing on Painted Circle is fast and easy. If you follow along with our onboarding video, you'll actually be signed up and ready to go in 20 minutes. What's great is that you have lots of places within your profile to let your passion and your voice come through describing your business. Also, you have a place to describe how you create a welcoming atmosphere for all of your guests. Everyone signing up to Painted Circle is committing to running inclusive businesses. And you can even share details if you have them about how you create that welcoming atmosphere. You also have the option to describe work that your company does to support positive social and environmental impact. And finally, you build your listing without setting up a commission. There aren't any. Instead, we want you to entice guests with a meaningful special offer that encourages them to book directly with you. So let's talk about how this shift actually works. When you create your free listing on Painted Circle, you'll actually include a special offer for guests. Think here about a coupon. Anyone who browses Painted Circle as a traveler can see your listing, but only those paying members of Painted Circle will see the coupon or special offer that you include. This way, we give travelers the choice of using Painted Circle for free or by upgrading on our site to access all the special offers that are included. Regardless, and most importantly, any travelers who want to book with you do so directly on your site. So why would we structure a platform like this? Well, traveler choice is key. And having worked as a tour provider myself for so many years, I know that we always include marketing costs, the cost of acquisition, and also ways to give discounts on our products. So let's look at an example of how the math works to support your business and also the traveler at the same time. First, we all have operating costs for our activities. Those are up to you. But on the top-down side, many of us lose a good deal of revenue in the form of commissions. So with Painted Circle, the opportunity is to remove that commission altogether and replace that with other ways to allocate those funds. With the direct booking that you earn, even with the customer discount included with your Painted Circle listing, you have all kinds of opportunity to better invest the remaining revenue in your team or in your community. This is one example, but I would encourage you to get creative. Discounts are usually the easiest and most straightforward way to work, and that's what most of our current partners are using. But there are other directions that you can go. So get creative and think about how you would entice a customer to come and participate with your activity and give them a really great experience at the right value. Now, I think it's important to note that removing the commission is not just a gimmick for me. This is part of a bigger issue we have in travel. When we allow too much money to be extracted from sales, we take money away from experienced creators and local communities. The goal is not to compete with traditional OTAs because they are a really important part of having a diversified way of marketing your products. But we do want to offer a fresh approach. The long-term vision for Painted Circle is to help support meaningful impact. We want to help travelers feel confident to explore, knowing that they're visiting inclusive organizations who also care about impact. We want to support local communities with revenue sharing, and we want to be part of taking that statement of travel as a force for good and actually putting it to work. We're also reaching travelers in a kind of unique way. Rather than competing with you and your marketing efforts, we're working with community partners and nonprofits to extend our outreach efforts in ways that can also collaborate and give back. And very exciting, this year we're rolling out a revenue sharing program so that businesses on Painted Circle, that's you, can also earn a commission from us when you connect travelers to the platform. It's how we're starting to close the loop on creating a community of operators who will also be able to support each other as we grow. This has been a super fast tour of the platform, and I do look forward to speaking further about Painted Circle with anyone who joins the demo day on Thursday. Also, I want to be available to anyone who wants to connect offline, one-on-one, or set up a meeting. So feel free to email me. You can also scan this QR code if you'd like to set up a meeting, and we can certainly have a chat. Thank you all very much.
Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well today. I am going to jump straight into the platform. Just a bit of history. I've spent my career in the sightseeing industry, first with City Sightseeing San Francisco, running the hop on hop off buses, which is now Skyline Sightseeing, and started Magpie a few years ago, just before COVID, actually, really as a way to solve a problem which we had in the industry. And the problem with City Sightseeing is that we had about 120 something reseller contracts. So we would sell through all the major OTAs, tour operations. I want to make sure I'm not unmuted. I'm unmuted, Mitch. Hopefully I am. Okay. Yeah, so we were trying to manage all of these reseller contracts, local concierges, OTAs, tour operations, passes, everything else. And the problem we had is the product kept changing, and we wanted to make frequent updates and get those out to the channels as quickly as possible. And we were doing that through Word docs, through Excels, through Dropboxes, through all this old-fashioned tech. So I created Magpie to solve this problem. So in effect, if you know what a channel manager is, Magpie is a channel manager for content. So we don't deal with the actual bookings. We don't deal with the availability. You need a res tech for that. Res techs are excellent with all those tools, all those operational tools at managing your actual bookings. But what we do deal with is all of your product content. So if you like, we're a single source of truth. You store your content within Magpie, and then we distribute your content from Magpie into all of these channels. So I'll just kind of go through and show you what the platform exactly does. So this is a dashboard of Skyline Sightseeing, which is our operation in San Francisco. So we use this dashboard as a demo for a few people. So quick view on what we are here. There's 24 products. We have this product score of 92, which you'll see we help people improve their product quality by showing them parts that are missing, parts that are too long, too short, etc. Let me go into my product list here. So product list, these are the 24 products. You can see our quality scores on the right here. I'm going to jump into one specific product, which is our one-day hop on, hop off. And it looks a little bit like probably the way you manage your products, assuming you have a res tech. So we have the general information, the product name, description, highlights, that kind of thing. We have all this COVID information still in there, which is still being used by some OTAs. Then jump to the different settings. We show some booking information, so the know before you goes and the cutoffs and the cancellation policies and your vouchers. We have a lot of fields. We have great tools for filling out these fields, especially with our multi-update product. You can update multiple products at the same time. But we need all of these fields because we integrate with all of the systems out there. You manage your locations, so your start locations, your redemption locations, that kind of thing. We have all of your settings, so your currencies, time zones, languages, all of that good stuff. And then we manage your pricing. We don't send pricing to OTAs. We let you manage that on the platform itself. Pricing does get messy in a hurry. We don't manage availability. We do have a tab here just for kind of keeping your opening hours and your tour times, that kind of thing, and free sell or not. And then we have a gallery section, which is all of your photos and videos, if you like. So you can manage all of your photos in one place. You can then tag those against specific products and send those up to specific channels. So I'll go back to the main tab here. So distribution, we send your products out to the OTAs. We have direct integrations with Viator, Get Your Guide, Musement, Expedia, and Google Things to Do. We have also some integrations with ResTex. So we have an integration directly with, for example, Ventrata and Peak, so you can share your information across those channels. And then we have a Google Things to Do integration. This has been really popular. This came out about 15 months ago. It's getting tons of free traffic for operators. So I'll just run through this quickly. This is how you set up your product on Google Things to Do. Product name here, website of where you want these customers to land. Again, Google is sending you traffic from Google Things to Do for free right now. You put the price of your product. And then you add your POIs, your points of interest. For Hop on a Path, we have a lot of points of interest. So we've got all these points of interest added for San Francisco as an example. You add those, so when people search for Alcatraz tours, will pop up on that search result. We then send your information, your description, your highlights, your inclusions, exclusions, etc. You put in your review score, do a couple of settings here, and add a couple of categories, add an image, and you're good to go. That product will go live. Once it's been approved by us, it'll go live in a few minutes. The other part I'll just go into really quickly. So for example, if I've just changed my description summary here, I can export these. I can export this to an OTA. So I'll click on this and it's going to bring up more actions, export to, oops, too many clicks here, export to resellers. And this one is just loaded on Get Your Guide, so I can hit update and continue, and it's going to update that product directly on Get Your Guide without me having to log into Get Your Guide. Last couple of things, I'll just show you how this looks on the front end. So once you've loaded all your products into Magpie, you get a nice view of that product. If this page loads, And you can also look to see what changes you've made. So you can share this with your resellers. And this shows you what my content used to look like and what it looks like today. So if you like, you can actually go in there and you can do a previous comparison. So I can look at my product in July and I can compare that with today. So you can send this to resellers so they get to see exactly what your product did look like before you made all these changes and what it looks like today. So idea is you keep everything in one place, single source of truth, keep your content updated live in one spot. And then you can send that to unlimited resellers. So direct integration with, like I say, Musement, Expedia, Get Your Guide, Viator, and Google Things to Do. And then if you want to share with other resellers, you can just share links to, you can use our sharing tools, and you can share links to your nice looking page on Magpie. And they can take all the information from this page and they can send it up to their local CRM or however they manage your product content. Last little piece, I'm just going to check on time here. How am I doing on time? I think I'm going a couple of seconds. Last piece I'll show you is reviews. So you can manage your reviews from within Magpie as well. So we import your reviews from various sources. Once you've connected your OTA accounts, Expedia, Viator, etc., we import your reviews. So you can now see all of those in one place, as well as Google. And then you can go through and you can look at your reviews, and you can also respond to these reviews for Viator and Expedia and Google. So you can sit here and you can hit a response directly within the platform. Type in a response, and that response goes directly out to the OTA. This one, as you can probably see, requires two-step authentication, which you guys all know about with all of the platforms these days. So if I was the user doing this live, I would get that authentication to log in and make sure that review goes out to the to the response. So we're always here, always happy to help. We're always adding new resellers to the platform, and we are always very willing to help you find more resellers. So please reach out. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for listening.
Hello, Christian. I'm just holding you here, not letting you get away.
You're hostage.
We're keeping you hostage to ask you some questions. In your knowledge of going deep into Google Things to Do, how many operators are you seeing using it?
Not enough.
Well, that's the obvious answer, but scale-wise, percentage-wise, is it 10%, 15%, less?
10. The problem is a lot of operators are using it through their res tech. The res techs are very good at saying, we're doing this, and you're live and everything's good, and it's not my fault that you can't find the listings. Google's very dependent on how you get these things set up. So I just showed you there the points of interest. A lot of the res techs, you can't set your points of interest. Without setting a point of interest, it's a waste of time. You're not going to show up anywhere. So I think a lot of res techs have told their clients, we've got you taken care of, you're covered, you're live, but the products just aren't showing up.
So just for the listeners here, the Tourpreneur community, obviously we're on here today to talk about distributors and OTAs, all the ways you can sell stuff. There is no better place on the planet today than to sell stuff than on Google. That may change going forward, but as it is today, Google is the daddy of all of this. And if you're not taking every single opportunity to get listings on Google, you're not really doing your job. So Christian's telling us he thinks it's less than 10%. That means most of our community isn't taking advantage of Google Things to Do. You're basically missing the biggest opportunity out there for more traffic to your site available. So get off your backsides and start getting listings.
And it's free now as well. There is a paid option. I'm sure everyone's seen the carousels right now. The carousels are showing up for most searches in our space, and those carousels are all OTAs, and they're taking the money, and those are cheap right now.
We interrupt this broadcast for a spanking by Peter Syme. Christian, I'm wondering, we're stopping you as well because you are not an OTA or a reseller yourself, but rather somebody that helps connect an operator with a whole variety of them. That means that you're in the position of sort of seeing kind of the landscape. And I was wondering if you've seen trends if Google has disrupted things, if you've seen OTAs or resellers moving in a certain direction, adopting different, ways of behaving, just what's the word on the street from your perspective?
I think surprisingly little from the OTA perspective. It's a lot more OTAs doing a lot more of the same. Headout's got a bit of a different method. Klook's doing a different thing now where they're doing kind of landing pages per point of interest. It's a little bit different, but it's not revolutionary. I think Google will disrupt it. Unfortunately, this version of Google now, it's been jumped on by the OTAs more quickly. So as Google's trying to get the traffic directly to operators, it's actually ended up going more to OTAs because they've just jumped on it sooner. But I think that'll change. The big thing I think you've got to think about with Google, because it is Google still for a while, is that it's going to move more to look like Google products. So people are looking for products, not companies primarily. So it's going to end up looking more and more like the product section of Google, which some people know, some people don't. But if you type in red dress as an example, I was about to write a post on this. It's a very different look if you're doing Google shopping. And I think tours and activities will look that same way. It's going to be displaying your products up front rather than your company name. And I think everyone needs to get used to that because that's how people search. They want a tour of Eiffel Tower. They don't want to see a list of companies they never heard of. They're looking for what kind of tours can I find.
Have you, obviously you see a lot of product descriptions across the board. What are some of the best practices that you advise your customers to do?
I think people don't spend the time, right? Product descriptions is one of those things. They get it done once and then they kind of walk away because they've got operations to run, so they don't come back and fix them. But it's important. It's your only window to your customer for a time where they're shopping. So I think people don't pay enough attention and they write a one-word description, one sentence description, and think, oh, that's done. What can I do now? Let's go and fix a bus or train a tour guide or something. Whereas that one sentence is your one chance you've got to close that deal on a website, on an OTA or on your direct website. And if it's not well written, it's not going to convert.
Just like the header of a newspaper, if that or a magazine, if that doesn't grab you straight away, they're just going to go into the next one. Same thing.
Yeah, you've got a couple seconds or something, right? Whatever that is. I do think ChatGPT is going to disrupt content. As I'm sure
I thought we were going to get through one conversation without bringing that up. We're building tools as we speak to help people rewrite their content really easily, as Peter will be all over. But it is going to disrupt the industry as far as the content, as I'm sure everyone can understand. Great. Thanks for your insights. Thanks for having us. And back to our regularly scheduled program. We are up next with Hannah Calder from Civitatis. So thanks, Christian.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hi. Thanks for having me. My name's Hannah and I'm the supply manager for Central and North America and Oceania here at Civitatis. I'll try to be brief because I guess some of you have been here for a long time now. But I'll just quickly give you an overview of who we are at Civitatis, what we do, and how we can help you. So, Civitatis is the leading OTA in the Spanish-speaking market. So we market primarily to customers in Spain and in Latin America. That's kind of our tagline, if you like. Just a quick overview of the company. We were founded in 2008 by Alberto. I think a lot of you maybe know him. And he realized that there was a gap in the market for a company that tried to put customers, Spanish-speaking customers, in touch with tour providers that offered activities in Spanish. So we sold our first activities back in 2019, and since then the company's continued to grow. We've hit various milestones along the way, So in 2014, we opened our first offices. We had our rebranding in 2016. In 2017, we launched in English, French, Italian, and Portuguese. So that means that not only do we have our website in Spanish, but we have kind of separate websites for those languages. And all of our content is made by native speakers of those languages. So it's made with the customer in mind, not just it going through an automated translator. And then by 2018, we had over 100 members of the team. And in 2019, we had over 3.5 million customers in just a year. And, you know, like the rest of the world, we thought everything was going great. And then COVID hit. And, you know, everyone loves a challenge. So we kind of knuckled down and improved a lot of our internal processes and thought really what it was that customers wanted and what our partners wanted, and we tried to improve a lot. So we made various developments with our extranet that we have for partners, and we continued building and curating more products. So we actually managed to double our catalog offering throughout the pandemic. And then come 2001, we started to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And by 2022, everything was back on track. We actually received funding from private investors. There's now around 250 of us on the team, and we're kind of set to go. We had our best year yet last year, and we just are continuing to grow. So if I give you a little bit of a breakdown, of the company, this data is slightly out of date, but right now we offer around 76,000 activities. Our website's in 5 languages, and we work with over 3,500 providers in almost 3,000 destinations worldwide. Peter, right at the beginning, spoke about distribution. And here you can see kind of how we can help you to distribute your products around the world without you having to make those individual connections and partnerships yourself. So our sales come from both B2B and B2C channels. We have about a 70-30 split. So in terms of direct B2B sales, firstly, we have 3 shops here in Madrid. We have a mobile application. We have websites that are travel guides, so you can search like what to do in New York, for example, and our travel guide will come up. And we also have our main civitatis.com website. And we spoke earlier about trust in a brand, and we know that we have many customers, particularly in Spain and Latin America, that know the Civitatis brand. They trust us because they booked with us previously, and they seek us out now when planning future trips or future vacations. And then we also have our B2B department, which represents about 30% of sales. And this is made up of travel agencies, travel bloggers, hotels, and more. So this means that if a customer in Mexico, for example, goes to their travel agency to book a 3-week trip to the US, the travel agency has access to our inventory and they can offer all of our activities to their customers. They take a commission from it, so we take less commission, so to speak, from that sale. But you, as the final tour operator, receive the same amount and you have access to a far larger pool of customers. This is very useful as well with travel agencies that perhaps they don't have the technology to be able to connect to all of these different tour providers or attractions, and they can work through us. So it's kind of win-win for both the final operator and for the travel agency. And you can also see that around 70% of our global sales are from Spanish customers, and then 20% or so from Latin America. This changes slightly depending on exactly where in the world you are. So if we talk about the US, the Latin American percentage increases slightly and the Spanish percentage decreases slightly. But if we're talking about Europe, the Spanish percentage is slightly higher. And it's interesting to point out that this our website's in Spanish, but it's also it's not just that it's in Spanish, but it's also that we offer elements that are useful to customers in Spain and Latin America. So customers are able to pay in their local currency, or actually they're able to pay in installments, which is potentially more useful when attracting customers from elsewhere. So here's just a quick overview of how our sales have developed over the years. And needless to say, the aim for 2023 is to grow even more. So in addition to the things that I've already mentioned, such as, in addition to what I've already mentioned, you probably want to know why you should work with Civitatis, or what makes us different, or what it is that we can offer you. So we have over 10 million customers. We're available in 5 different languages, and we work with our B2B partners. Those are the elements that I already said, but there's a few others that I'd like to point out. So something Peter mentioned earlier is that you don't want to work with an OTA and then market against yourself. And I think it's really important to note that because we do target that Spanish-speaking population, we're targeting a section of the market that perhaps you don't necessarily. So if you are you are a walking tour provider in San Francisco, we're not targeting people that are already in San Francisco that you might reach through traditional methods. We're targeting customers in Spain and Latin America, worldwide. So we're not trying to poach the customers, so to speak, that you might reach through direct methods, but our efforts go into getting you new customers that you wouldn't necessarily get otherwise. We're a curated marketplace, so we offer just one of each product with one provider in each destination. So this means that if we work with, for example, a food tour operator in Austin, we only work with that one operator offering that one food tour. We don't then offer another 10 food tours in the same destination. So if we work with you, we try to create a longer lasting partnership, and we try to offer the best situation for us both, and we don't work with your competitors for that directly comparative product. We also work with price parity, offering the same price as you do on your website, so everything's very transparent. And as with many other OTAs, there are no fixed costs or minimum contracts. So it's completely free to work with us. We'll create all of the content for our website. We put it, as I mentioned, into those 5 different languages, and then we take a commission per sale. So we put all of those efforts into our marketing, into our distribution partners, etc. And it only costs you any money if we actually do our job well and you get some sales out of it. There's no minimum contract, so if you don't like working with us, which obviously we hope won't happen, but you're not tied into it, so you can stop working with us at any point. I think it was Chris that mentioned earlier about using an OTA as part of your marketing budget, and I think that's a good concept. And as we've already mentioned, you only pay a commission if you actually get a sale. So rather than forking out money and not knowing whether there's going to be any benefit to that or not, we bear all of those marketing and distribution costs, and it only costs you something if there's a result in it for you. A few other little things. We have our customer service team available in 5 different languages, 24/7. So you can always get in touch with us, and our mutual customers can always get in touch with us. Plus, you'll have access to our extranet, through which you can make real-time changes such as closing dates, you can upload photos, you can request content changes, you can see the opinions that customers have left about your products, and you can see sales statistics. And we also automatically create the invoices there, which earlier we spoke about not having time to work with OTAs. Well, we'll try to do everything so that it leaves you with more time. And likewise, we work with many different APIs and channel managers so that life is as easy for you as possible. And for me, on a personal note, what I really love about Civitas is that whilst we're growing, there's still a feeling of it being kind of a small family company where we care for each other and all of our partners. So you won't just talk to somebody behind a screen, you'll talk to me, Hannah, or my colleague David, or whoever it might be, but someone that you know on a personal level. And I'll wrap it up there. If you've got any questions, please feel free to email me. I think I had my email here. Yeah, please feel free to email me at northamerica@civitatis.com, and I'll be really happy to speak to you on Thursday as well. Thanks for having me.
Hi everyone, Ryan Hanley here, CEO and co-founder of Travello. Thanks for the opportunity to introduce our family of brands, which will be Travello Backpacker Deals and Travel Inspiration to you. If I may, I might take a little bit of an opportunity to give you a very quick overview of our company. We were founded in 2016, and since day one, our focus has been on innovation. We think very differently to a number of other OTAs, and we actually do things very differently to other OTAs. This is evidenced by the social network for travelers that was the grounding for the company, and really the technology product that the company was built off that we launched back in 2016. And I'll touch on this a little bit later on. We're based out of Australia and we have a focus on the youth market, but hopefully this overview gives you a little bit of an insight into the way we think about travel and the way we think about travel going forward. Travello has a really unique combination of three brands in our family, which truly differentiates itself from our peers and many other OTAs. We have Travello, the social network for travelers, which is being used in over 140 countries and has over 2 million downloads. We have Backpacker Deals, our youth marketplace, and essentially, and for all intents and purposes, a very traditional OTA. But then we have Travel Inspiration, our travel media arm, which reaches over 100 million unique people every single month. This unique combination of community, commerce, and media really differentiates us and provides us with some unique USPs in the market, and also some unique advantages for our partners. So Backpacker Deals is our youth marketplace, and as the name suggests, it's the place to go for amazing experiences if you're a youth traveler. Backpacker Deals obviously focuses on the youth demographic, but you would actually be surprised by how many sales come from the 34 plus and older demographic. I guess you're never too old to be a backpacker. But in all seriousness, we do have a material number of sales coming from an older demographic, which speaks really highly to the brand itself, but also the online booking experience that we actually provide. And we really consider ourselves to be more than just a marketplace or an OTA. We're also a community. We're a social network for travelers being used in over 140 countries, where travelers actually come to dream, discover, plan, and book their entire travel journey. There's a huge body of evidence that speaks to why ecosystems and communities are integral for brands, both now and more so into the future. But I won't bore you with these details now. But what we know is that the Travello community is very strong and remains one of our biggest USPs. So if you want to check out our app and this, huge active travel community, feel free to download the app for free on iOS and Android. Another very unique part of the Travello family of brands is Travel Inspirations. This is our media arm that reaches over 100 million people 100% organically without a cent of paid every single month. This drives huge volumes of awareness for not only us, but also the sales and promotion of our operators and the experience that we partner with. So this page provides a lot of inspiration for people around the world. The organic reach of these platforms, or in particular Travel Inspiration, is actually quite staggering. And this forms one of the key value adds our partners experience when working with Travello. We actively promote our operators and their experiences to this huge global audience. So we actually actively target the youth demographic, and for good reason. We've served over 1 million travelers, the majority of which are within that 18 to 34-year-old demographic. But as mentioned previously, we have a growing demographic of travelers over 34 using the platform to buy the best tours and activities around the world. And the youth demographic matters. We love it. It's highly underestimated and also highly underserved. Typically, youth travelers stay longer and spend more than other demographics. And if you actually break down where they spend within their travel wallet further, they don't spend it on flights. They don't spend it on hotel rooms. They spend it on experiences, your tours and activities. No demographic loves tours and activities more than the youth demographic. So if you want to expose your experience or tour to this massive, high spending and fast growing market, we're the partner for you. We also have taken a strategic approach to really focus on what matters. That includes sustainability, where we've got initiatives like planting a tree for every booking that's made on our platform, accessible experiences, accommodating for travelers with disability and allowing them to experience the amazing tours and activities on offer to them, and also Indigenous experiences, a huge burgeoning market globally, but particularly in Australia. That once again is heavily underserved. Now, we champion our Indigenous experiences and our Indigenous experience operators across all of our platforms. These are the things that really matter to us as a company and represent who we are and what we do. We also have a really strong partnership focus. So when you partner with Travello, your tour will be exposed and booked by the audience and customers of all of our partners, which includes some of Australia and New Zealand's largest travel and media brand. This exposes your tour to huge new audiences that's in the millions. So in conclusion, Travello really does offer a holistic and differentiated offering in the market. We have a youth focus, a huge media arm, a truly unique offering that combines community, marketplace, and social media, and access to our distribution partners, which represents millions of potential new customers for your tour and activity. We're always looking for amazing operators and amazing experiences. So if you like what you've heard, we'd love to work with you. Please reach out on the email you can see on the screen, and we'd like to speak to you soon. Thanks, everyone.
How are you? I'm Edward Marty, head of distribution Tour CMS. I joined the company 1.5 years ago, and it's a pleasure to summarize what Policies Tour CMS offers. We are talking about two systems, Policies and Tour CMS. Policies acquired Tour CMS in 2015 as an add-on to increase the sales channels. Sorry. If someone asks me today what Policies, Tour CMS, and what we do at the activity industry, my answer would be it's a solution to cover all the sales channels for an operator from one unique system. We try to cover as many channels as possible If we talk in basic, we talk about street sales, bus sales, walking tours. We're talking about, on this case, MPOS, one unique pure application downloaded on your smartphone, up to all-in-one device with scanner, printer, and payment to cover, let's say, all the mobile sales. We also cover, in case you have a booth or a shop or anything like that clients come in. In those cases, we offer POS solutions, stationary solutions, always trying to find the best solution for you and that matches perfectly with your operation. So what we offer is a ticketing solution for all the sales produced in destination, on site, sales on the buses, sales on boats, shuttle services, etc. On a second step, we offer to our clients B2C web shop solutions for your own website, from basic solutions, plug and play, WordPress, iframes, or via API. And we can build as well your full website in case it's needed. As well, we offer B2B white label solutions where your agents can also log in and book their tours with all the configuration done on our back end. We offer local distribution, local partners like, let's call it hotels, let's call it tourism offices, offering to them a login access where they can book their tours with the specific rates and conditions for each of them configured in our reservation, in our ticketing solution. And finally is where this is my playground, global distribution. So to offer to the operator the possibility to resell their product. We like to call our products, we treat your products as ours, through our channel manager, through all the OTAs. We are one of the largest of OTAs connected to TourCMS, but at the same time, we have more than 45,000 agents that they log in into our platform, into TourCMS, to book also tours from there. I'm not moving the slides. I'm here just concentrated, but here it's just a little bit of summary of what we were talking about, different solutions, MPO solutions, stationary solutions, like this, that this is the 24/7 sales guy, and also validators that you can even implement in your buses. As we said, global partnering, that we are here. Talking about the distribution and our platform and our channel management, let me highlight some reasons why to work with us. We consider ourselves a very stable platform, not because we say that we are stable, that we know, but also because our customers knows that we are super. For us, it's a difference. Sometimes to lose one sale, it's the difference between making money or losing money. So stability in technology, it's a must. Also, I want to mention the expertise of our team, of our team, and the support that you get working with us. Believe me, difference. We want to think that your product is our product. Mapping the products through the OTAs, and also understanding the importance of the connectivity. We are very open to connect to your own subsystem in case you have another one at the back end. We have teams dedicated just checking errors, so any booking that fails, we like to resolve this situation instantly in order that this is not going to repeat again in the future. We are constantly developing new products, always improving our features just to make your life easier and to reduce your workload. At the end of the day, we want to improve your daily operations. And at the same time, we're always looking to increase the number of OTAs and resellers connected to us to give you more bookings, more passengers, more revenue, not only main OTAs, also regional ones. We always listen our operators, our suppliers, if they have any local reseller, that please to invite them to reach out to us, and we are very happy to integrate with them. yeah, as I said, always trying to find new features, new connections, new API upgrades and endpoints. Always looking for, as I said, always trying to do that our connections with the resellers are updated with all the functionalities and all the features that also all the OTAs are launching, because at the end of the day, we want to offer the best customer experience and that they don't have any issues when they are trying to book a tour of yours. Our support team speaks 5 languages, depending on the size of the operator. Here you can 80 OTAs and resellers connected. This is a summary of the top ones. Also, we inform about new ones that we are almost launching, like in that case at the end. Some of our partners worldwide, just as a reference, who are our suppliers. And as I said, everything in one place, connecting through policies in the middle, and we give you the world. So it's been a pleasure. I hope it's very difficult to say it in 7 minutes. So many solutions, but I hope it's a little bit clear on what we do. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're doing great. My name is Jorge de Cordova. I am the co-founder of Shuttle Central. I'm sharing my screen right now so you can see our deck. Here you go. So really quickly, what is Shuttle Central? We're helping travel companies to sell airport transportation online. A little bit about the market. We're only focusing on international passengers traveling from, let's say, the US to Mexico, from Mexico to the US or the Caribbean. And that market accounts to over 38 million passengers every year. With our average $65 ticket ride, that's an average of $2.5 billion a year. So how and what we're doing. So overall, we're giving technology to the small suppliers, the actual van operators, the ones who are driving the vehicles, integrating them all in our technology and giving this product via either API or white labels to different companies such as Expedia, Booking.com, and some others. Currently, we are present in over 125 destinations with 50% monthly activity. And in this year, we want to consolidate our offer, increasing to every major airport in the US, Canada, Mexico, Caribbean, and Latin and Central America, basically covering everything in the AMER region. Our customers right now, we can divide it in 3 different key areas. One will be travel marketplaces, like Expedia, Booking.com, SmartRide, JRide, and some others. White label customers like Viva Aerobus, City Express, Selina, and 150 others, and of course our B2C. Let me share you a little example of how we are working with a website. This is the Viva Aerobus website. As you know, they sell flights, or they have several other options. But if you go to shuttles, you see the white label we have created for them, which is the Shuttle Central white label. In this case, you can quote anywhere from Mexico or wherever they're flying to, to, let's say, a Hotel Secrets Divine. We go over here, select the dates. And the beauty about this website is that anyone can create this and have a website looking similar to this one and start commissioning in airport transportation. So you go to partner.shuttlecentral.com. You can literally create your website. It takes you 5 minutes, and you can start getting commissions on airport transportations and point-to-point transportation. So that's overall our business here. Let me just confirm if everyone is listening to me. I think so, yes. There we go. Now, what is our value proposition? We understand that Booking.com, they have the booking right department. Expedia, they have the GT department. These many companies, they can do it on themselves, right? But overall, what we are helping them here is to get as much supply as possible in one same area. We're giving technology to these operators. Let me share you an example of what our suppliers are seeing. This is the actual example of every supplier that is working with us receive this for free. They can upload their bookings. This is completely created for airport transportation. It is not activity system that is also available for transportation. Is completely created for transportation. They have a fleet management system. They can create their fleet in here. They can manage the drivers. They can see and assign whatever booking to a passenger. Sorry, whatever booking to a driver and a vehicle, and they can track it because we also have a driver app in which, let's say today, for example, we have these rides are pending. These rides are already on the way to the drop-off, and these ones are already finished. Okay, so this overall what we're working in terms of technology. So since we're giving this technology to the actual operators, we are able to integrate them and make it easier for companies like Booking.com, Viva Aerobus, Expedia, Selina Hotels, and some others to actually be able to offer as much transportations in many different places as possible with just one point of contact, which is Shuttle Central. A little bit of our numbers today. We have an average growth of 10% month over month. We have transported a total of 440,000 passengers, and we have managed to serve, 7 million in GMV to date. That's from July 2019 to date. 2022, we closed it with 3.3 million in sales. This is a little bit of our financials and our growth. We're expecting to grow to 1.2 million passengers by the end of this year. And overall, our business model is really, really simple. We give technology, either an API or a white label, or just integrate with these several different travel companies. We give them the product. They do the product placement. We give them, of course, all the product in terms of transportation, in terms of coverage. And when they are charging their customers, we're getting a commission out of it. So let's say the supplier charges us $10 to make it easier. We mark that up from 15 to 20%, depending on the account. And then the company, let's say again, Viva Aerobus, they're able to increase that or mark it up 25 to 30%. How the revenue flow looks like in terms of the different three types of line of business. We have marketplaces, which is Expedia, Booking.com, etc. They keep 30% as soon as the money comes in. A $100 ticket, they take $30. We pay $60 to supplier, and we keep $10. In this case, will be an average of 12 to 15%. A white label, we commission. So we take the $100 from the passenger, we commission it out 15% to the Viva Aerobus in this case, and we keep $21. And the B2C, of course, is the most profitable one. We're keeping 31%, hoping that makes sense. How our product looks like in different marketplaces. This is the Expedia marketplace. This is the Mosio marketplace. These are some examples of the white labels that you already saw the Viva Aerobus one. You already saw, the Aloft one, and our B2C. And how our supplier portal looks like, or with who are we working. We only work with drivers and companies that have access and permits to enter the airport, commercial insurance, and taxpayers. Therefore, we are not able, or we do not want to work with the ride-hailing drivers, because again, it's really important, especially in Mexico and the Caribbean, where there's no ride-hailing companies. We want to make sure that we're able to enter these airports and wait for your passengers there. So overall, this is why this is an actual travel business. It's not just a ride-hailing company. Right now, as you know, ride-hailing is slowly getting banned from federal areas such as international airports. Number two, travel companies aim to get or create, as they call it, the connected trip, where a passenger trusts one brand to make it all happen. not just the hotel, not just the flight, but the flight, the hotel, the transportation, and tours and activities. And now tech is making it really, really easy for us to connect drivers everywhere. And I think overall, that's all on my side in terms of sharing. Thank you very much. I don't know if there's time for questions or not, but that's all. Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm Greg Fisher and I am the CEO and founder of TripShock.com. We're a tour and activity marketplace that is based in the Southeast USA. I'm also the CEO of WaveRes, which are a reservation system, but you'll have to check out waveres.com to learn more about that product today. So on this pitch, we're going to be talking about TripShock.com. And TripShock.com started in 2009 as just a small regional OTA here in Destin, Florida. We usually worked with water sport and boating operations and did that for several years. We've gone through hurricanes and oil spills. So we are pretty much battle hardened to all of the external factors. Obviously, COVID was just another thing we deal with. But we claim that we're a little different from an OTA perspective. We're not going after thousands of products. We are more curated than most OTAs. And, we've been around for almost 15 years. And the question is, why aren't you in 100 destinations? Why aren't you in worldwide? And the truth is, for us to be successful, we found that just developing deeper partnerships and trying to increase the revenue per partner was a better outlet for us. A lot of times OTAs will spend millions of dollars on acquiring customers when the actual acquisition doesn't even make sense financially. So we're trying to make our numbers make sense. We're trying to generate more revenue per partner. We're trying to develop a better service per partner. From us, like we don't have we have a lot of attention to detail when it comes to our relationship with partners. So you might notice with other OTAs that you just pretty much deal with a call center where most of our partners can talk directly to someone that can help them with their listings, can help them with their revenue management and try to get more bookings on TripShock. So we right now we're just focused, like I said, in the Southeast USA. So we're not open to everybody right now, but in the future, we might open up to new markets. So, if you're interested in joining TripShock, definitely go to TripShock.com or you can go to partners.tripshock.com to get more details on working with us. And that's it. Thank you.
Hey, great to be here. This is John. I'm from Redeem and looking forward to speaking to you for a few minutes today about what we do, who we are, and where we fit in the ecosystem. So hopefully, yep, there we go. I have some slides set up. So we're a US-based travel technology company. We have teams in Spain, in the UK, where I'm based, also in South Africa, Germany, and we have an amazing team in Ukraine who never cease to amaze us on a daily basis. So why are we here? We believe there is a significant opportunity in connectivity and distribution in the things to do sector. So when we look at distribution in other travel verticals, we see that most travel is sold via connected electronic systems that work seamlessly together and have been for some time. Now, that's not the case in the things to do industry, unfortunately, where there's still many manual processes, as you guys know. There's still a lot of friction in the booking journey. And, you know, we believe that this makes life hard for everyone in the value chain, not least operators. So with that in mind, Redeem has built what we believe is the only agnostic, and by agnostic, I mean we're not owned by a reservation system or an OTA, API-based channel management connectivity platform. So connectivity is really our focus. You know, our technology is designed to enable you operators to take control of your connectivity and your distribution. So we're not a reseller, we're not an OTA, we're not a reservation system, and we're not an aggregator. So what does that look like in practical terms? So hopefully this will give a little bit of an insight into this. So typically we connect to your ticketing system on our standard API, and that will enable you, and we connect to all different parts of things to do space, to seamlessly distribute your products to the guys on the right-hand side of the slide. So we're connected to all of the main OTAs, some of which have been presented earlier today, to Google. We have retail travel agency connections. We also have a reseller portal that we recently developed for non-connected resellers of travel. So if you have any corporate customers or people that book manually your products today, they could still be part of our ecosystem and see the same benefits as they would do if they were a connected customer. And we'll talk a little bit about that on Thursday. So if you join us on Thursday, we'll talk about our reseller portal. We'll also talk about a tool that we've developed for those operators who don't have a reservation system today. We speak to a lot of operators who either don't have a system in place or they're thinking about moving to one, but they still want to benefit from third-party distribution. So they still want to have access to the same OTAs and drive revenue in that way. So we'll talk about that, and we'll do a demonstration with our product team when we meet on Thursday. So when would you use each of those products? So an API clearly is better when you're connected. So if your reservation system is one of those connected to Redeem, you'll have a single version of truth for all of your third-party bookings where they'll be made. If you make frequent updates to your pricing or you have dynamic pricing, then you really need to be connected via API to ensure that those benefits are passed on to the resellers. And if you want to make sure that your availability and your pricing is seamlessly updated on your key distribution channels, API is the way to go. Redeem Central is really designed for operators who don't yet have a reservation system, as I said, but you want to start creating some third-party distribution revenue before you move on to a reservation system. So it really allows you to dip a toe into the water. There's no license fee or setup cost. It's also great if you're moving between reservation systems. You're going through that sometimes open heart surgery and you want an interim way of maintaining your OTA connections. Or indeed, if you work with one of our reservation systems who's connected to us, which does not currently have the functionality to control price and availability by sales channel, then Redeem Central would be an option. And we work with a number of different reservation systems in that way today. So we'll deep in a lot deeper on Thursday for those of you that join, but there's a few key features of our technology that I wanted to highlight to you today. So we make sure that every operator booking passes a gate readable barcode or QR code to each reseller. If you don't have QR codes or barcodes, then we can manage that for you. We also make sure that you have the ability to control your availability and price by reseller to enhance your yield strategy and really control how you distribute your products. And we believe that we will save you time and money by having all of your third-party bookings centralized in one place. So these are some of the customers that we have today. Now, our technology works equally as well for the enterprise level customers we have, like Disney, to allow them to connect to the resellers they choose to, in the same way as it does for a lot smaller businesses, like some of them on here, like Shanimo Sailing, who are a small sailing boat tour operator based in the island of Naxos in Greece. So we believe that our technology really does level the playing field when it comes to distribution. We're connected to well over 100 resellers today, global regional ones, and we have at least 35 reservation systems who are either live or in the process of going live with us. And we have some pretty ambitious growth plans for 2023. There's more details on our website if you want to go and check them out. So in summary, we believe that Redeem is uniquely placed to help different parts of the ecosystem. For operators, we give you control on your distribution. We can expand your distribution reach. We can reduce manual tasks. We can reduce your fraudulent bookings and overbooking. For reservation systems, we are one connection to many resellers, saving them time and money, meaning they don't have to build or maintain new connections. We do all the heavy lifting for them. And the same for resellers. We give them one connection to many different reservation systems, and we provide them with live availability and pricing to make sure they have the best possible chance of converting those customers. And not forgetting the final customer, right? The people that actually book those tours. So we believe our technology gives them a seamless guest experience when they book on third-party sales channel, making sure that those bookings, when they turn up, they don't have a booking not found headache. And of course, it's 2023, so there's really no need to print those paper vouchers. That's it from us. Hopefully we'll speak to a few more of you on Thursday. If you want to drop us a line, we've got a specific email for the Tourpreneur community, tp@redeem.com. We look forward to speaking to you then. Thanks very much.
Well, well, well. Look at that. I think that was the best possible one to end on. They made an email address just for Tourpreneur.
Details. Down to details.
That'd be a lesson to the other 18 OTAs today. Give us a cute little TP ad. All right. Thank you, John. Thank you to everybody today. That was a fantastic array of very, very different OTAs, resellers, connectivity partners. And I'll say this, I have a lot of questions that I'm excited to ask them on Demo Day on Thursday. So make sure you RSVP for Demo Day. I put the link in the comments of the Facebook stream, and it's in the email that you all received if you RSVP'd for this event. And it's also in your confirmation email. So you need to RSVP for that because you're going to be logging on to our virtual networking platform, Remo, which is fun. You can hop around to different booths, hop into those booths, which are like little breakout rooms, and you can see screen shares. You can visit with the companies, ask questions, and see if any of these platforms are right for you. Finally, I know this was a long day, and you will all actually be notified in the Facebook group and on LinkedIn that once we're done here, I'm going to go into editing mode, and I'm going to edit all of these little 7-minute pitches and put them into our OTA software directory. If you go on to tourpreneur.com, one of our extras is an OTA and software directory, a reseller directory that will have all of these videos. So you can go into each individual company and look them up, watch them, learn more about those companies, and hopefully get your list ready for the people you want to meet on Thursday. Thank you all for joining us. Before we go, though, I do want to get Pete and Chris's takeaways from all these presentations. Chris, what were your thoughts about today? What stuck out? What struck you?
Yeah, again, as you mentioned, a lot of good variety, but the things that really stood out for me was a lot of chat around pricing, getting your pricing right, using a lot of these platforms to help grow your business, especially in the early stages where you're no doubt running around like a headless chicken, trying to run your business, do tours and do all the other things, market the business, and et cetera, whereas you could focus on the business, focus on the sales, and utilize companies like OTAs and resellers to help sell your business to help you generate revenue. So then in the future, you can then hire staff, hire marketing companies, and do all the other things to get more direct. So I think a lot of it comes down to pricing and using them strategically for your business to help it grow.
When we at Tourpreneur talk about you operators, we hope that you become more profitable and not necessarily get more bookings. More bookings does not mean more money. It might mean a bigger headache if you don't have your pricing right. So That's great. I love that. And Peter, thoughts, takeaways?
Not so much takeaways, but action points for the operators. So we've had ResTech demo pitch days. We've had multi-day ResTech pitch days. We're having resellers and OTAs today. Then next week we are having all the travel technology, over 30 of them that don't fit into these brackets. This one, for most operators, is probably the most important one because you're only going to select ResTech once or twice, change once or twice. You're only going to do that. This is your daily business. Selling experiences to customers is your daily business. It's what you should breathe every single day. It is the oxygen to keep your business alive. So your takeaway and your priorities for this year is to sell more at the right price to be more profitable. And this is the way to do it. If you've been listening to this today, you should have a whole host of actions of who you're going to contact, who you're going to speak to. You've got to have to turn up in the demo days to be able to do that, or go to them direct if you're not available to. But this is how you grow your business. There is no real rocket science in this. It's a difficult business we're in, but there is no real rocket science. Just sell more by connecting with more people. You will sell more. Put the effort in, and by the end of 2023, you will be selling more. But as Mitch says, you have to do it at the right price to make sure you're more profitable.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. For people who have hopped in and out of our LinkedIn stream, our Facebook stream, our YouTube stream, or directly here on StreamYard. And we look forward to seeing you all on Thursday. And don't forget, next week, same time, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have 30 plus travel technology companies. It's going to be the most variety yet. And another Thursday demo day as well. And that will end our January of demo days and technology companies for a little bit. Thank you, everybody. And go do something productive.